which targeted alleged members of a narcotics gang. The White House says it was not Secretary Hegseth, but instead an admiral over at the Pentagon who had ordered this strike back in September after an initial strike had taken out the boat, but that there had been survivors on board.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House, where President Trump may talk more about that operation at a cabinet meeting later this morning. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem will be there and may talk about what she proposed on social media that Fox's Chris Foster details.
The full travel ban on countries she says are flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies. She writes, "Our forefathers built this nation on blood, sweat, and the unyielding love of freedom, not for foreign invaders to slaughter our heroes, suck dry our hard-earned tax dollars, or snatch the benefits owed to Americans. We don't want them, not one." A Homeland Security spokesperson says a list of nations affected by the proposed travel ban would be announced soon.
President Trump imposed a travel ban on 12 countries earlier this year, including Afghanistan, where the suspected gunman in last week's National Guard shooting came from. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Lots of snow and some slick roads. You've got a cloudy sky. It's 26 on Monument Circle. We'll stay cloudy much of the day today with a high just shy of 30. More on the weather coming up. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Steady snowfall across the state starting Monday evening and into this morning. Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says this start to the winter has been a little different than previous winters.
Is that in years past, at least here recently, we seem to be delayed getting into winter. It's happening more in January after we get through the holidays.
Most of central Indiana got anywhere from 2 to 5 inches. The metro area got at least 3. That snowfall and cold temps having an impact on the morning commute. Adam Pinsker at the Indiana Department of Public Works says workers have had lengthy days out clearing the roads since last week.
So they work 12 on, 12 off during our holiday weekend when most of us were at home or shopping with our families. They were out just working their tails off. And as of this morning, the most challenging part, I would say, is the varying degree of snow we've had.
And the weather has put dozens of schools in 2-hour delays or have canceled classes today altogether. You can see a list of those schools at WIBC.com. Marion County prosecutors say 27-year-old Harrison Goss is now looking at 8 child seduction charges after 2 former student athletes at Ben Davis High School reported having inappropriate relationships with him. One girl was 16 and said Goss pressured her into having sex in his car when he would take her home after track practice. The other girl was 17 at the time. She came forward after learning about the other case. She said her and Goss's relationship was consensual beginning in 2022 until her graduation in 2024. Goss was fired by Wayne Township Schools following his arrest in June. He has a trial currently scheduled for December 15th. The statewide average for gas today, $2.82 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's the average here in Indianapolis. The Indiana Pacers unable to make it 3 straight wins last night. They lose to Cleveland 135-119. Head coach Rick Carlisle.
We stunk to start the game, very poor. You know, our spirit was off. There was a lack of connection. We had a few guys that made plays where the effort just simply wasn't good enough.
Pascal Siakam led the way with 26 points. The Pacers have Denver on Wednesday. And in college hoops tonight, Butler continues their non-conference slate against Eastern Michigan. Number 1 Purdue opens Big Ten play with Rutgers on the road. And later tonight, Notre Dame is hosting Missouri. Check of the roads this morning with Matt Baer.
Yeah, Jarrett, looking on the sign, southbound 465 before I-70 crash, blocking 2 right lanes, slow to Penn Pike. And then still on the east side, crash, southbound 465 before Washington, left lane block, slow 270. On the northeast side, eastbound 465 before Allisonville Road, crash blocking the right lane. Boone County, southbound 65 stopped from 865 past 86th Street. On the west side now we have a crash southbound 465 after Crawfordsville Road. And then checking out the north split, it is southbound 65 to eastbound 70 crash on that exit ramp. The ramp is open, partially blocked. Traffic sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Your favorite songs shouldn't have to wait for Wi-Fi. Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data for Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk available at straighttalk.com or Walmart. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Anticipation of the Christmas season offers the celebration of joy, hope, and redemption as we celebrate the birth of Jesus. But maybe you don't feel joyful. You've lost hope, and redemption of your situation seems impossible. Grief isn't limited to the loss of a loved one through death. Many life circumstances can initiate grief and inhibit our ability to embrace meaningful moments. But you don't have to grieve without hope. Join us at Life Church for our Blue Christmas services, designed to give you space for your grief. Go to lifechurchin.com for more information.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop our Black Friday event for up to 65% off in-store or at hellsberg.com.
See the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Snow wraps out prior to daybreak this morning. Cloudy skies remain through the rest of today. High temperatures in the upper 20s. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Low temperatures in the teens. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, look. I'm by no means some sort of etiquette expert.
Yeah.
And I'm not a decorum snob.
Okay.
But there is something bizarre about a sitting U.S. congressman getting into a fight with a radio guy on social media, right? I mean, that is...
Especially when he's got a big day ahead of him.
Well, so we'll get to the bizarre Marlon Stutzman behavior here in just a little bit. But first, obviously, everybody's coming unglued because they are just desperate. The Republicans are desperate. Well, not even the Republicans. A select group of Republicans are desperate down the street from us to try to alter these maps to cover for their bad governance. And I think part of the behavior, Casey, is, especially yesterday, and Kayla Dwyer from Indy Star is going to join us here at 9:30 because she was there yesterday covering the whole event. I think there is a sense, and I heard this from multiple people yesterday, there is a sense that the Senate is going to pull the trigger on a thumbs down on this and totally humiliate the governor in front of the entire nation. That Rod Bray had basically reached the upper with which he could not stand with the governor.
So you think he's saying, okay, this is what you want? Well, we'll do it. We'll come and we'll take a vote.
Look, nobody knows exactly how it's going to go next week. They certainly could, scrounge together 25 votes and the lieutenant governor would be the tiebreaker. They could do that. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying I've talked to multiple people who were there yesterday who have sort of their ear to the ground on this, and they said it is looking more and more like that is the path that's going to go forward. Now, that again, let me say this. That would shock me. That would shock me if they allowed. I mean, it would be an utterly humiliating defeat for Mike Brunn. I would be thrilled to death to see it happen, but it would be I would be shocked to see it happen because normally at all costs, the governor of the party in power is protected by the other, the power structure. But we may have reached a point with Braun repeatedly insulting and goading Rod Bray, the pro tem, the leader of the Senate, trying to humiliate him, trying to bully him, that Bray just said, okay, if this is what you want, I will stop trying to save you from yourself.
Let's go.
Yeah, and let's do it. So when you see kind of the tensions and the way things are playing out and the ridiculous behavior from so many people, maybe there is something to that.
It'll be really interesting to see which way this falls. Do you think Houston's on the side with Bray? I mean, he's just like, okay. I mean, the House will pass. It'll pass the House, even with the language. It's Bill 1032. And the bill includes, some language saying that there's a temporary restraining order may not be sought or issued. Also gives the Indiana Supreme Court mandatory and exclusive jurisdiction over appeals.
Yeah, so basically what this is what I said. I said, when I was a kid, I used to, you would play with your friends, and I would shout out, I claim this land in the name of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't mean that I actually had any power to claim land, nor did I actually govern the country of Spain, right? You can say whatever you want. It doesn't mean that the legal community, for lack of a better term, has to abide by it. What they're trying to do is shut down some county judge. This getting shopped to some county judge to shut it down. Now, the most likely scenario, if the map that they went forward with yesterday is what they proceed with, is a federal judge is going to swipe it down because of stuff related to the Voting Rights Act until the Supreme Court rules on this. But again, I come back to in all of this, right? What have the Republicans done that you would say, man, I just hope there's two more of these people? What at a state or a federal level have the Republicans done in terms of governance where you would say, man, everything's just going to be so much better if there's two more Republicans in Washington, D.C.? And what you come back to repeatedly is the Republicans once again have had an opportunity to govern the American people in a way in which the American people would want to vote for them. All they would have to do is follow through on campaign promises. They haven't done that. The primary issue of which people are upset about, to the point where, depending on what happens today in Tennessee, you could see a massive upset. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but it looks like it's going to be close in a previously safe red district. They have not addressed the issue of inflation and affordability of living because they won't stop spending money.
Well, the thing they keep saying, though, is that if they don't redistrict and they don't have the House, Trump will be a lame duck president, and he won't be able to get anything done. So, therefore, he won't be able to do anything about the inflation or the economy.
So, the first year when he had control over everything, he didn't do anything about it. But you just wait. Next year. Does this sound familiar, Casey? Have we heard this before?
We're going to come back to it. We got an ace up our sleeve.
This is exactly what they told us with property taxes. This is exactly what Braun told me with property. And I told him he was full of it. And I told him where he could shove that ace up his sleeve. That became his phrase later, I was told. Which, we'll get this. And the next year we'll come back for something else. And it's going to be big and it's going to be great. Have you heard a word from the governor about what he's coming back for? For property taxes? No, because he's not coming back for anything. And the same thing with Trump. They're not doing anything. There's nothing being done in Washington, D.C. right now. Whether it's the spending bills that they're passing, whether it's that big bullcrap bill that they passed, whether it's the tariffs, there's nothing being done that you would say, okay, right around the corner, we're going to start getting this inflation, the price of living, under control. They don't have a plan to address it. They're not going to address it. And all this is about Trump not wanting to have to deal with the Democrats for the remainder of his 2 years as president of the United States. That's all this is about.
Well, not only that, but there's also talk that if he doesn't have control, impeachment proceedings. So the last couple of years of his administration would just be bogged down with that.
Okay. So let's play this out because I keep hearing the impeachment. So they did it twice when he was president the last time. Was he still the president?
Yeah.
How many votes does it take? I believe it's 66 votes to impeach someone in the in the United States Senate. Even if the Democrats have a landslide and win every swing election this coming year, they'll barely be in the majority, much less have the 66. Look, all you're doing with these maps, and at the core of this, this is what this is about for me. All you're doing with these maps, if you alter them in Indiana, is you're bailing out bad Republican governance. You're telling the Republicans, if you do this, it doesn't matter how you govern us. It doesn't matter that you don't follow through. It doesn't matter that you don't keep your promises. It doesn't matter that you don't deliver, because you'll just keep your power by changing the rules of the game in the middle of the game. The Republicans are the only hope to ever actually fix this country, because the Democrats, we waved bye-bye to those guys a long time ago, right? And if the Republicans keep getting away, it's like your kid. If your kid misbehaves, You've raised a child, Casey.
Yeah.
If your kid lied to you repeatedly or misbehaved, or you told them to do something and they didn't do it, were you like, here, Emily, here's more candy. Go hang out with your friends. Can I give you $20 for the evening? Is that how you handled it?
No.
What'd you do?
Well, you discipline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Republicans need to be disciplined. The Republicans are Livy Kendall. The Republicans are the 2.5-year-old who know that if they draw on the wall because they know it's wrong and you tell them it's wrong, you're going in timeout. What they want to do is I'm supposed to be giving Livy cookies when she draws on the wall. Hey, I know I told you not to do that. Hey, I know you know it's wrong.
Here's a reward.
Yeah, and you did it anyway. Here's a cookie. The Republicans right now, by trying to change these maps, are my 2.5-year-old kid who was just drawn on the wall, despite the fact that she knows it's wrong, and they want the people of Indiana to give them cookies for it.
So everybody's saying that Indiana is, everything's riding on Indiana getting this done. Ron DeSantis just announced that Florida is going to redistrict. So maybe it's not all on Indiana's shoulders.
Yeah, it's all ridiculous. Anyway, Kayla Dwyer will be with us from Indy Star at 9:30. She was there all day yesterday. We'll get the vibe. You'll feel what the vibe is.
By the way, they're having the committee vote this morning, like right now.
Well, nothing says we desperately want to be transparent and want your participation like giving the public less than 24 hours notice to show up to something, right? That's what they think about you. That is their opinion of you on everything. We don't care about you. We don't care what you have to say. We're just going to do what we're going to do if it benefits us. What are we doing next? What's going on?
Oh, well, let's see. We've got the map that I really don't like, the weather map.
Can we talk about the driving when we come back? Can we talk about
the drive-in?
Just the public and not. I'm sure there's many people hearing us right now who are wonderful drivers, but there are a few people out there who are ruining it for everyone.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes.
93 WIBC.
I stand by him and the combat decisions he has made.
What happens next?
And denies allegations the second strike could be considered a war crime.
Happens here.
Remains in serious condition after being shot last week on patrol in Washington.
Trying to make sense of it all.
A suspected gunman and an Afghan national.
These are policies that will skyrocket our cost of living.
A woman shot twice while she was driving.
The polls will open later this morning for a special election.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin, or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
When you have a fire emergency, you need a restoration company you can trust to put everything back together. Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I know. I've relied on Michaelis after a fire at my home. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Richard, what makes Michaelis the right call if you have a fire?
Michaelis is local and family owned. We are your neighbors, 39 years of experience, and we'll respond 24/7, 365. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified. We will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I've lived it. Michaelis was on the scene at my home before the firefighters had even rolled up their hoses. They asked me about calling a restoration company. I told them I had Michaelis. They told me Michaelis was the real deal. You help with insurance too?
Yes, we'll work through the insurance process to give you peace of mind.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
I've been a Republican my whole life.
I proudly voted for President Trump 3 times.
I want Republicans to win.
But mid-cycle redistricting isn't the right way to do it. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
And it gives D.C. more power to tell us what to do.
That's not how Hoosiers do things.
Tell your legislator, spend your time passing a conservative agenda
that lowers costs and makes our lives better.
And don't rig our elections.
Paid for by Indiana Conservation voters.
The best AI for your business isn't artificial. It's advisor intelligence. With Horizon, you get real people to help you drive real growth. Open your business account today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's B Windows' biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Trust me.
So you getting yourself a couple tickets to that Big Ten championship game on Saturday night?
You know, had I only bought them sooner, it would have been a lot more inexpensive.
Okay, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Big Ten championship Saturday night. We're talking football. It's IU versus Ohio State.
The Ohio State University.
Okay, last year. Now, didn't we talk about this last year? Because for those who don't know, Casey is an events person. She likes to go to things, even if it's things like it's not my favorite topic or event or whatever. You just like to go to events where there's large amounts of people.
Right. It's all how you frame it, right? Like, I'm not a huge Major League Baseball fan.
Right.
But if you say, hey, you want to go out to this open air bar with 10,000 of your closest friends?
Sure.
It's a little different. Sure, I'll go.
Okay. So last year, the Big Ten championship game was Penn State and Oregon. And I seem to recall the tickets, we had this conversation that tickets were like readily available. And they were very cheap on the open market. And you were pondering, you and Jim, your husband, were pondering going last year because they were so cheap.
But this year, it's a different story. I'm looking at the price of some of these tickets. Wow. So you've got, they range between $3,200 and $390 is the lowest I'm able to see. And
is that like the tippy top of Lucas Oil Stadium?
Totally in the nosebleeds. So I think we're going to have to pass.
What's the
Although,
most?
darn it, that would be good. That would be fun.
What's the most you've ever paid to go to an event, any event, sports, concert, whatever?
Oh, gosh. I'm not the one who normally does the purchasing.
Someone else just pays. How great of you.
I just go along and look pretty.
Jim, text me. What's the most you've ever paid to go to?
Right? He's paid.
Can you? He's like, Diego, I'll pay.
I'll pay.
I'll pay to go to the game.
I'll pay for the tickets.
Can you imagine? Like, okay, when I went to the Rolling Stones when they were at the track in 2015, I paid $300 for that ticket.
Yeah.
But it was
That's a once in a lifetime thing.
And it was the way the tickets were structured. It was, I think they called it a gold pass. I got a friend who was very connected, was able to get it for me, and he was able to get me a ticket. So I went by myself, and it was like, okay, I'm guaranteed basically when I'm planning on getting there to be in one of the first 5 rows. It was all standing, right? It wasn't like there were seats, and I was right by the stage. So it's like, okay, I'm never going to have this opportunity again, and I'm going to be right next. Like, I'm as close to Mick Jagger as you and I are right now. got to do it. But you're paying $390 to be at the top of the stadium. One thing, like, oh, you're on the 50-yard line, row one. It's going to be great. You're at the top of the stadium.
No, it's not even 50-yard line top of the stadium. It's a corner. So it's like bad. Yeah. Now, if you do want to get on the 50-yard line, section 142, there is a ticket available for $3,242. Now, there's 2 left in one of the end zones for $2,300.
Now, okay, if you're an events person and you just have infinite money or, money to throw around, okay. But you and I have had this conversation before. With television being so advanced now,
you can feel like you're at the game.
There's, unless you just want to be at the event itself, there's zero reason to attend a sporting event because the television experience is so much better. I mean, you
get the replay.
Yeah, you get all the camera angles. You can go to the bathroom when you want. The drinks are more readily available and cheaper. Television has made going to a sporting event obsolete unless you just want the experience of being at the game.
Being around some other fans. I prefer to have quick access to the bathroom and whatever food I want. Now, so I was looking on StubHub. Now I'm looking at Ticketmaster to see if there's a difference. And there's a lot of tickets on Ticketmaster in the $400 range.
But are they tippy tops?
Let's see here. This one, section 113. Yeah. It's not so good.
Hey, real quick.
Ticketmaster is a lot harder to navigate, by the way.
Yeah, it's called a monopoly. Okay, real quick before we go, can we talk about the drive-in today?
Was it slow going for you?
How was it for you? Because you get Hell on Earth, better known as Washington Street. Now, you should be 5 minutes from the station, but they've totally carved up Washington Street.
I had to do a detour, by the way, yesterday on my way home because they were digging a huge hole right in the middle of Washington. Actually, it wasn't so bad on my way in this morning. I think it was mostly because there was less traffic, less people out and about. I did have a moment where I had to do a little swerve because there was a guy walking down the middle of the street.
Sure, of course there was. Well, my thing was this. So there was an accident on 70, and while it wouldn't have impeded because it was west instead of east, it was impeding the traffic on 465 to get to 70. So I had to detour off on 10th Street, and for some reason, and God bless the town of Speedway, every time I have to skedoodle through Speedway on 10th Street when it's snowing, especially past Allison's, etc., it's a nightmare. I don't know why Speedway can't
pull off and go into Big Woods and have a beer.
Well, at 7:30 in the morning, yes. I don't know why Speedway can't ever get 10th Street. They're around Allison's figured out, but they can't. And then obviously Indianapolis, it's always a dumpster fire. Anytime you got to Indiana Avenue and you're holding onto the wheel with both hands, praying that nobody in front of you stops.
I was pleasantly surprised the side streets were cleared. They were plowed this morning.
No kidding.
Yeah, I know.
I almost said something else. Would have got me in big trouble.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. Kayla Dwyer from Indy Star is going to join us next. She was at the State House all day yesterday. One of the things we're going to ask her is, look, I kind of think the House is going to go forward with these redistricting maps. But there's a lot of people like me are starting to feel maybe the Senate isn't so game in terms of voting for redistricting. What is the vibe inside 200 West Washington?
She joins us next on 93 WIBC.
Is your home ready for the holidays? Because nothing says season's greetings like realizing the in-laws are pulling into your driveway and your carpet still looks like it survived last year's gravy avalanche. And believe me, I've been there. Last Christmas, Uncle Sullivan tripped over the wrapping paper tube, launched his hot chocolate across the living room, and Aunt Terry, God bless her, tried to fix it with soap and water and something she swears wasn't hairspray. That's when I learned, don't DIY it. Call Zero Res. It's safe, effective, and way more reliable than whatever Aunt Terry finds under the sink. If it needs cleaning, Zero Res can handle it all. Carpets, air ducts, hardwood, LVP, tile and grout, upholstery, rug, stone, residential, and business. It's the perfect time for a holiday refresh or an end-of-year deep clean to start 2026 feeling like you actually have your life together. Zero Res has a 4.9 Google rating with over 5,100 reviews, so spots fill up fast. Call 317-388-5141 or go to ZeroResIndy.com.
I've been a Republican my whole life.
I proudly voted for President Trump 3 times.
I want Republicans to win.
But mid-cycle redistricting isn't the right way to do it. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
And it gives D.C. more power to tell us what to do.
That's not how Hoosiers do things.
Tell your legislator, spend your time passing a conservative agenda
that lowers costs and makes our lives better.
And don't rig our elections.
Paid for by Indiana Conservation voters.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Investigating some potential fraud. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 9:30. The Treasury Department is investigating if taxpayer money funded a Somali terror group in a fraud scheme out of Minnesota. House Majority Whip there, Tom Emmer, joined Fox and Friends, pointing blame at Minnesota Democratic Governor Tim Walz.
You've got housing fraud. You've got daycare fraud. You've got 80 autism centers under investigation. All of this under Tim Walz's watch.
When asked if he takes responsibility for the fraud allegations, the governor says that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like. People who commit fraud will go to jail. A House committee is said to take up a major kids' online safety bill.
The family members of victims rallied in D.C. Monday demanding Congress crack down on the alleged dangers of the Internet. A House panel will discuss a number of bills, including the Kids Online Safety Act, which would implement new guidelines for social media companies when minors are using the platforms. Other proposals would force app stores to verify users' ages and even prohibit minors from having social media accounts. Some proposals have faced pushback from advocacy groups who've raised concerns about violating free speech.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz reporting, and President Trump is set to convene his cabinet today as the administration faces accusations of war crimes after killing survivors from a boat suspected to be trafficking drugs into the U.S. The White House says members of a narcotics gang were the ones targeted on the boat hit back in September. Lawmakers have announced there will be a congressional review of the multi-strike attack on the vessel. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 132 points, 47,289. The S&P 500 also in the green. It's up 20 points, 6,812. And the NASDAQ up 115 points, 25,342. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Picture this. Your career ends, your paycheck stops. Suddenly you're conducting your retirement with no sheet music. Don't let that happen. I'm Jason Hutchins, and after years of guiding Hoosier families through retirement planning, I put together some of the most important lessons into one simple, easy-to-read book, Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. Get a copy mailed to you at no cost. Call 317-660-929. That's 317-660-929. This book is packed with real-world stories and strategies on income, Social Security, taxes, and how to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Call Guardian Willis Financial at 317-660-929. That's 660-929 and ask for your copy. No pressure, no strings attached. Supplies are limited, so when they're gone, they're gone. Orchestrate your retirement. The rhythm of your future starts here.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. Guardian Wealth Financial is not affiliated with Creative One Wealth or with any government agency. Licensed insurance professionals.
Casey, was a big day at the State House yesterday.
Was something going on? What are you talking about?
There were people, there was protesting, there were bills being filed. Of course, this all centers around redistricting. Let's find out exactly what took place yesterday. One of the best reporters in the business from the Indy Star, Kayla Dwyer, joins us now. Kayla, hello.
Oh, my goodness. Hello.
I always love that when the reporter starts with, oh, my goodness.
Well, she didn't know how to react to your compliment, I think.
Well, that's what we do. We wow everyone with our charm and charisma. All right, so tell us yesterday. You were there. Let's start
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So let's start with that. Like, did you get a feel for the mood in the House of Representatives, who is meeting this week? The Senate will meet next week. Did you get a feel for an overall mood? Like, are these guys fired up about this? Are we doing it because, well, we've just got to do it? What's kind of the feel of the Republican House members?
It's definitely not a super fired up feel. It's just kind of a, we're here, we're doing it. And when you talk to House Speaker Todd Houston, he's saying all the things that you say, to support this. I'm not necessarily feeling the fervor, but not a lot of smiles in the room. Let's just say that.
Going through the motions, you say?
I would say so, and I don't think that's unfair. I mean, this is something that was not their idea,
right,
and they're doing it.
Did you get a sense that you did get some fervor from Representative Delaney?
The man is not short of fervor. Yeah, House Democrats did their best to make the day interesting given their superminority status. There was a lot of consternation over what they allege is a House rule that was broken to meet yesterday at all. Basically, the rule that says in order to change the time of meeting from a resolution, there needs to be agreement from the House Speaker and the House Minority Leader. So, Democrats got really worked up about that, and they pulled out other stops to try to stop proceedings. They tried to adjourn early. They tried to reject the bill, the MAP bill, on first reading. And, yeah, Ed Delaney from Indianapolis, he said this is the lowest day in the legislature since he's been there, since 2008.
Well, he's seen some low points. Kayla Dwyer from Indy Star is our guest. She was at the State House yesterday covering the big event. There was protests. There were a lot of people there. There were a lot of anti-redistricting people. Do you get a sense that these protests, one way or rallies do they affect these lawmakers at all?
Well, I don't want to be uncharitable, but they affect them insofar as when you're in the chamber, you could hear them the whole time, and it was that creates a bit of tension. Like anytime there was a gap in someone's speech, you heard loud booing or cheering, depending on who was speaking. So that definitely created some tension. But at the end of the day, the Republicans that control the State House are there to do something, and regardless of what the protesters say, they're going to do what they set out to do, in my opinion.
Kayla, do you think, you mentioned it created tension. Do you think that there was more tension based on all of the recent swatting that has been happening?
That certainly levels up the tension, yes. I mean, I do think there, generally speaking, there's an atmosphere of fear, not fear in the way that it's going to deter the proceedings, in my view. But, it's something that's in the air, like who's next? It seems to be affecting senators more than the House members, so it's not something that was brought up at all yesterday. But I certainly feel like that could be more of a mood changer in the Senate next week.
Kayla Dwyer from Indy Star is our guest. So it sort of feels like a fait accompli that the Republicans are going to pass on the House side. The big intrigue is the Senate. Are you guys getting any sense of what's going on as it relates to the Senate? Do they have the votes?
It sounds like they still might not. I mean, the behavior from and the rhetoric from President Trump and some supporters seems to be adding more voices to the anti-coalition, essentially making people angry. Now, there's still a lot of senators who just have been silent and remain silent. So without being in the caucus room, it's hard to know. But the vibe, if you will, is that perhaps they're meeting next week to, honor their due diligence. But I think it's still very unclear how that vote is going to go.
Now, Senator Bray had announced on November 14th that the Senate didn't have enough votes, and you recently created an article about him and how he's been consistent in his message. I'm wondering, do you think that there's a tilt at all with him? Is he swaying at all?
Him deciding to ultimately meet is a little bit of a reversing of course, but it's hard to discern whether that's in response to the ramped up pressure in the form of public safety, the swatting incidents, or if it's a change of position on the issue, and I highly suspect it's the former.
Kayla Dwyer from IndyStar is our guest. Just a couple minutes left with her. She was in the State House yesterday for the beginning of the 2026 session, redistricting front and center on that. One of the bills away from redistricting that got a lot of attention yesterday was Danny Lopez. He is the Central Indiana State rep. He files this bill, which would essentially change the way that the lieutenant governor is elected, taking that away from the delegates, giving it to the governor's nominee, him or herself. Was there any reaction? I mean, it got a lot of play on social media, but was there any reaction yesterday inside the State House to that?
I will be honest, the redistricting took all of the oxygen yesterday. This was something that was being whispered about in the hallways and among the press corps, but hardly had a chance to even focus on it. But it's certainly intriguing and something that has been whispered about since Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith was elected in the way that he was.
Okay, so we'll get you out of here with this. When you talk to the pro-redistricting people, not the politicians, but the people that are there, do they really think the country hangs in the balance on these two Democrat seats flipping red? Is that a genuine belief that these people have?
It actually is, I think, because, I was just thinking the other day, I really need to look up the math on this. But with, what California did, there is a strong contention that we could be one of those difference makers, with these couple of seats. I need to check those numbers personally, but pretty much when you talk to the pro side, the national picture is the big driving force. We are not in a vacuum. This is we need to play a part in this, or we could lose the majority in the House. And it's an unusual position for Indiana. We don't usually we usually do our own thing,
She does a phenomenal job covering Indiana politics and government. IndyStar.com is the website. Kayla Dwyer, thank you.
Thank you.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show tickets are on sale now for our Red, White, and Bowl event presented by Jack Daniels. Go to WIBC.com, buy your tickets. We'll talk this afternoon at 3.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Boer Remodeling. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Boer Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with a free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. That's BoerRemodeling.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th. So go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you'd done it sooner.
Now you can take the TRT test free at Synergen X and the Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com.
Now through the end of Radiothon, Wilson Farm Market is donating 10% of all fried chicken sales to the Salvation Army. Wilson Farm Market, where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465 on US 31.
The weather outside is crummy, but your appearance does not have to be if you call the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indie. And when you call, all you have to say is, look, I want to be as beautiful as Rob Kendall. Give me the Rob Kendall treatment. I made that choice 5 years ago, and every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad that I went to We Grow Hair Indie. Here's how this works. It's super simple. You call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. You schedule a totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, they're outstanding individuals. They should probably be given a statue somewhere. They'll take a look at what you got going on, and then they'll give you some options on how to make your dome look a little bit better. Then it's up to you. The ball's in your court. In the meantime, see some other people who have made the choice to go to We Grow Hair Indie by visiting their website, WeGrowHairIndie.com. WeGrowHairIndie.com. Schedule that free consultation today, 317-522-2995.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Casey and the Sunshine Band, live at Old National Center, January 23rd at 7:30 p.m. It's the ultimate throwback party. Get your tickets today at WIBC.com.
This lawsuit involving, streaming. Or I guess internet service is fascinating to me. Can we get into this for a few minutes?
Sure.
It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Casey, as you know, on this program does all the work here. I simply just show up and I say, "What are we doing?" And then Casey's like, "It's on the template." Well, because she'll tell me what she wants to do, and I'll say, "Okay, where can I find this story?" "It's on the template. I spent 5 hours on."
Is that how I sound in your mind?
And then I'll say, "What time did you have that on the template at?"
9:45.
Yeah. Okay, so this is fascinating story, though. USA Today has the story, and it is about a $1 billion lawsuit that has made its way all the way to the Supreme Court involving basically essentially the music community, for lack of a better term, suing Cox Communications.
Cox Communications.
They're a massive internet provider.
They're a broadcast company, but also they provide internet service.
Yeah, and Sony Music Entertainment and 50 other record labels were involved in this, and they were saying, look, Cox as this internet provider has not done enough to curb the tide of blatantly illegal internet streaming.
Yeah, music piracy is what it is.
Which blows my mind, Casey, that in a world where you can go to YouTube at any time and get whatever song you want, like pretty much whatever song you pick, there's going to be, you might have to sit through an ad.
Right.
Like there may be an ad before you get the song. But you can get whatever song you want for free now, and people still do the illegal internet downloading. That blows my mind.
So music companies are saying that Cox Communications let 60,000 customers share 10,000 copyrighted songs illegally. And so they took them to court. And the court said, okay, yeah, $1 billion fine. They appealed, and then a later court threw it out and ordered a new trial. And now the new trial is at the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court is now deciding whether Cox can still be held responsible for, quote, helping piracy. Cox is saying, we're not helping anybody. And the music industry is saying, yeah, but you didn't stop them either.
So this is a fascinating conversation that could affect, everybody going forward, depending on how this thing ultimately gets sort of decided. In the end, it looks like it's going to be on the side of the internet provider, Cox. By the way, the Justice Department, a whole bunch of other bigwigs have lined up behind Cox because, I see both sides of this, where the music industry is saying, hey, wait a second, we get paid off of legitimate, downloads, transactions, listens, pay services using, streaming our music, Amazon, Apple Music, whatever it is. And you are bypassing our ability to get paid. These people are bypassing our ability to get paid by illegally pirating our music. And Cox, you're the internet provider. We're telling you where this is coming from. We're giving you the IP addresses, and you're not doing anything about it. Cox then says, and it's a valid point, look, we're not the police, we're not law enforcement.
Right.
We don't have investigative powers. We don't know who in this house is doing it. If it's a kid and the internet is paid for and given to an adult, we're going to be screwing not only that person, but everybody in that house. Then let's extrapolate this out to, I think they used as an example, Army barracks, hospitals, hotels. They said this is just impossible for us to police every single person, and we're going to end up punishing people who have nothing to do with this.
Right. That's the thing. Cox is saying that the judgment could jeopardize internet access for all Americans because they're saying, yeah, you gave us this IP address, but what is actually at that IP address? We can't just randomly cut off the IP address because you're saying there's music piracy. What if it is a hospital? What if it is a military base?
And so it comes back to the music industry is sort of where the radio industry has been, which is, you've obviously run many, many radio stations. You've been at the tippy top in the business. About 20 years ago, radio unleashed what was known as HD radio. And this was supposed to be this pioneering thing that was going to change the industry. And it didn't really change anything other than the FCC allowed, and we do this with 107.5 and 93.5 The Fan, use HD stations as what they call translators to put if you have an HD frequency license, you can now put a translator on them, and it has helped to that extent, but it does not revolutionize the industry like it was.
It puts the product on another signal.
Right, exactly. But this was supposed to be the new thing, right? Like everybody's going to buy these HD radios, everybody's going to love HD radio, it's going to save the radio industry. And what they came to the conclusion of a couple of years into this thing was that they had this technology for like 10 years. And instead of just getting it out there and saying, okay, let's all go make money on it, the radio industry, like everything else, just fought amongst themselves instead of getting at the forefront of anything. And in the meantime, satellite radio became a thing. They got people used to paying for radio content. And so by the time the terrestrial radio industry unleashed HD radio, people were like, no, I already got my way I do business, right? Like I'm okay with Sirius or XM or whatever it is now. And the radio industry never was able to capitalize the way they should have been on HD radio because they had HD before a satellite was in people's homes or in people's cars. Same thing here with this. The music industry feels the same way. I remember 25 years ago, they were fighting over illegal downloading. And what they should have done is instead of insisting, you will pay $15 for this CD, you will buy it the way we tell you to buy it, they should have been getting people used to paying some small amount for their favorite songs and getting access to just the songs they want if you don't want to buy the whole album. All the things they're kind of doing now anyway.
With Spotify.
Exactly. Yeah. And they could have done that 25 years ago and been so far ahead of the curve, but they, like their own arrogance or hubris or whatever it was, they insisted people do it their way. People were like, I ain't doing it your way. I'm doing it my way, the free way.
So the music industry is saying, though, at one time, 21% of Cox's network was piracy-related traffic. They're using that as the basis for their argument. A quarter of their business was pirated music. But Cox is saying, you know what? You can't punish us just for knowing about piracy.
Well, look, it comes back to this. if you see the train gumming down the tracks, right, you have two options. You can stand in front of the train and get run over, or you can say, hey, I'm going to get on board, and where this train's going may not be exactly where I want to go or the way I want to get there, but it's better than getting run over. And the radio industry, just like the music industry, for some reason, chose to stand in front of the tracks and get plowed over. Hey, can we talk about the behavior of Marlon Stutzman when we come back? This was bizarre, right? You've seen what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. This was weird for a sitting congressman to do this.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
The holidays are the most wonderful time of the year. And let's be honest, between travel, to-do lists, and year-end everything, it can get overwhelming. Now add retirement planning to the mix? Not a chance. Here's the good news. Retirement planning doesn't have to be stressful. At Howard Bailey Financial, our team simplifies the process, listens to your goals, and helps you take your next retirement steps with more confidence. So while you're wrapping gifts and planning get-togethers, let Howard Bailey Financial help you wrap up your retirement plan. Get started today by texting WRAP to 888-494-5004 to download your free retirement toolkit. That's WRAP to 888-494-5004. Because financial confidence doesn't just belong under the tree, it belongs in your future. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Life is full of changes. Seasons shift from hectic and busy to slow and calm. Yet through all of the seasons of life, our windows remain the same, just as we installed them. No matter how much life changes, with our industry's best warranty, our windows provide you with peace of mind that lasts for years to come. Call now or visit bwindow.com and receive 68% off your next project.
That's Faber's B-Window. Trust me.
This holiday season, experience the best of downtown Indianapolis with Winter Wonderland. Enjoy holiday traditions, festive attractions, and special events designed for families, date nights, and group outings. To start planning your holiday adventure, visit IndyWonderland.com. That's IndyWonderland.com. And on weekends, don't miss Spark Holidays on the Circle, where live music, Santa appearances, and holiday lights bring Monument Circle to life from 4 to 8 p.m. Find out more about Spark Holidays at circlespark.org. Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Jeff Saturday on Teamwork.
Hey, I know a little something about the value of teamwork. So when I found my name on IndianaUnclaimed.gov, you can bet I checked some teammates' names as well. And I found them, lots of them, including a Hall of Famer and another with his own TV show. Look out for your own team and go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov and see if your name's on the list. Trust me, Indiana Unclaimed wants you to reunite you with your hard-earned money. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov today.
Their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, how many inches of snow some parts of the state got overnight and the road conditions from that. What the Indy City County Council voted to approve during Monday night's meeting, and did the Pacers start their two-game stretch at home this week with a win last night? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
A lot of lawmakers want a lot more answers. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. About the U.S. operation off the coast of Venezuela targeting illegal drug trafficking.
We don't allow the military to act as the police officer, the prosecutor, the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
That's Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin as the controversy grows about an attack on one of the more than 20 boats blown up, putting Secretary of War Pete Hegseth under scrutiny when a second strike killed survivors of the first bombing. Fox's Chad Perkins is the Capitol.
Raskin calls the strike a, quote, war crime. Hegseth and the White House say the strikes were legal. Hegseth denies that he issued the order. The administration insists that the U.S. acted to protect self-interest. Lots of Republicans have questions, but many support the administration's explanations.
I can't recall any time in my history doing counterterrorism operations where we strike a group, whether that's a building or a boat or a vehicle, and then we were like, oh, well, they're survivors. We have to go. We can't kill them. Of course we killed them.
That's Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw. We may hear more from President Trump on the controversy at a cabinet meeting next hour. The chances to end Russia's war are better now than ever. That's what Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said this morning after negotiations on a U.S. proposed peace plan. And Zelensky wants a meeting with American leaders as soon as possible after today's talks in Moscow led by a special U.S. envoy.
Steve Witkoff's meeting with President Putin is the latest move in attempts to bring peace in Ukraine closer to reality. There's been some back and forth since the U.S. put forward a 28-point settlement plan less than 2 weeks ago. Ukraine and its allies argued it rewarded Russia for its invasion and say they have secured a number of changes. But we could find out soon if the amendments are acceptable to Vladimir Putin.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. All the polls are now open in Tennessee in a special election for a vacant seat in Congress. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Up to half a foot of snow in some spots. Cloudy sky, 26 right now in the Circle City. Today's high, just 28. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:02. The snowfall totals for parts of central Indiana.
A lot of areas saw anywhere from 2 to 5 inches across the central part of Indiana. In the metro itself, we saw 3 to 5 inches. We officially had 3.7 inches out at the airport.
That's Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says some spots in east central Indiana got at least 6 inches. That weather, of course, affecting the roads. In Indianapolis, city crews say they've spread over 3,000 tons of salt over the past several days.
That was as of yesterday morning. We have been out taking care of what are known as the major thoroughfares, the Keystone avenues, the Kessler Boulevard, getting areas around hospitals and fire stations clear of snow, and then our focus goes to secondary streets.
Adam Pinsker with the Indy Department of Public Works says crews are on 12-hour shifts. The cold temps and slick roads have forced dozens of schools to close or operate on 2-hour delays today. Indy police say someone was grazed by a bullet during a robbery on the south side Monday night. That person is awake and stable. And when officers found them, that was the case, too. Investigators believe the shooting started during a robbery, and the report lists 3 stolen cars, each valued at about $10,000, along with a stolen laptop. Happening early this morning, also on the south side, a woman was found shot inside a vehicle. She was reported to be in stable condition. IMPD said the incident is considered isolated. The city's first DORA is coming to Irvington. Johnette Cruz explains what that is.
The Indianapolis City County Council has approved a major legislative change establishing a clear citywide framework for up to 7 designated outdoor refreshment areas, or DORAs. This move immediately led to the creation of the city's first DORA in the historic Irvington neighborhood. Supporters, including local businesses, say the DORA will streamline events permits and boost economic activity by allowing patrons to leave designated establishments with open containers. The Irvington DORA is expected to take effect sometime next year, pending final state approval. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And a 135-119 loss for the Indiana Pacers last night against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Pacers' record is now 4-17. Tomorrow they will face the Denver Nuggets at home before hitting the road for a Friday game against the Chicago Bulls. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
So the truth is, women live longer than men, often by many years. This has big financial consequences for women. They run a greater risk of running out of money in retirement. That's why it's critical women have the right strategy to file for Social Security. You really have to have someone that knows what they're doing.
The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong age. It's not understanding how Social Security impacts their IRA and 401k withdrawals, their taxes, and even their Medicare premiums. Discover how you could get the most out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. So if you've saved more than $200,000 but have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now at 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120 or visit yourretirementguy.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, so Costco is coming for Donald Trump. We'll talk about that in just a second. But first, may I read a statement, Casey?
Sure.
Okay, I got to clean this up.
If you can.
I got to clean this up. This person told me I could read this on the air. Of course, they're having the hearing now on redistricting going on right now down the street from us at 200 West Washington. And a lot of people there. This is someone in the room. This person is a Republican, by the way. So this is not some, Andre Carson fan club president. But I'm going to read the observation. I have to clean it up. I'm going to use the words that rhyme with some of the words.
Oh, no. Good luck.
I've showed
this
you.
This is on you.
I've showed you the statement
Rob
in question.
Kendall will pay the fine.
I'll pay.
That's right.
All right. And I showed you the statement. You're good with me reading this as long as I clean the words up, right?
Yeah.
All right. And now keep in mind, I'm going to read this straight through as was sent to me, cleaning up the words that I cannot say on the air. And we'll see if the audience can figure out what words got changed.
I bet they'll be able to.
Are you ready?
They're smart.
This committee hearing is horrible. Republicans look like idiots.
Oh.
They can't defend it, that being the maps. They didn't even draw them. Ben Smalls is the guy leading the hearing for the Republicans, is a wussy-whipped witch.
Okay.
Casey, can you figure out which words I altered there?
I got it.
To be able to say on the public family-oriented airwaves? So that's the observation from a diehard Republican offline in the room and what's going on today.
It was actually, what was the organization that helped redraw the maps? It was co-chaired by Chris Christie and Mike Pompeo.
Did you see that that got out? And so now people are like, what's going on with that? Because why would Chris Christie, under any circumstance, do anything to help Mike Pence? Or Donald Trump.
Wow, that was a slip, huh?
Yeah.
A lot of people think it is Mike Pence.
Well,
saying no, at least, to the new maps.
Rehashing various other conversations I had yesterday. Anyway, the conversation for another time. But anyway, that's observation from a Republican in the room on how the Republicans are handling the hearing today.
So it's not going well?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. This person is usually, I've used them many times over the years, and they're usually pretty spot on about observing who's winning and who's losing. But they're good. Look, the House, we already know what's going on here. The House is going to pass this. It could be, no matter what the maps look like, the House is going to pass it. And then next week is when the fun begins, when the Senate comes in, and we'll see what they're going to do with it.
But they're going to have reading on amendments on Thursday, and then Friday they take a vote?
I think that's their plan. That's their plan in the House. And again, nothing says we don't give a damn about you and this isn't for you, like giving the public less than 24 hours notice that you're going to have a hearing on something.
And they were all given 5 minutes to speak.
Okay, so here is my question for you, because I have been asked by multiple people to do this, and I said I have to run it by you, and I was going to run it by you off air, but it's just we're always told nobody's listening anyway, so it's just us.
Okay.
I have been asked when the Senate convenes to go speak as part of the people. Anybody can go do it. It's not like it's some special club, but the people who have concerns say, well, no one would bring more attention to this, and no one would probably articulate it better than you. Would you be willing to go speak? The problem I'm going to have is it's during our show.
Oh, gotcha.
So I would probably need your permission because it's just right down the street. They could probably rig it up to where I could be one of the first people in if it's an early morning hearing, I'd probably be here by like 9:30. But
you wouldn't be late that day?
Well, I said I would have to ask Casey when I get asked to do this, that I would have to know what time. I need notice, but I'd have to ask Casey because it would be affecting her quality of life as well.
So you're going to sign up, and they'll say, yeah, we'll let you speak, and they're going to make you wait.
No, I think there's some order process to this whole thing. If the insiders know how it works, I've only done this a couple of times in my whole life, so it's been many, many years, so I don't know. But there's some way that, when you sign up, I don't know how the whole thing works. But I've been asked to do it, and I said, are you sure?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, no, this would be great. And so I said, well, I would be open to doing that. They wanted me to go today, and I was like, nah, that's not enough notice. I'm not going to do that to Casey. I also know it's not going to do any good. I'm not wasting my time to go, play footsie with those guys. It's not going to do any good. They already know what they're going to do. I think the Senate is being reasonable on this and is actually thinking the thing through and is open to hearing.
You want to go hold hands with Rod Bray, don't you?
I'm not holding hands with anyone. I'm just simply saying.
Brush each other's hair.
Yeah, that's it. So we have to think that through because I don't want to make life more difficult on you, but I do think for the purposes of this show, it'd be good content.
You don't want to make my life more difficult?
No, it's what everything's about for me.
Okay. Yeah, no, you should totally do that if that's what you want to do.
Well, I told them, I said, you cannot give me 10 hours notice.
Right.
Like, we have to be able to plan this thing through.
You actually could. I just roll over and say, hey, Jim, you want to go in with me
Well,
in
but
the
I want
morning?
to be respectful. That's what I said. I said, I've told people, I said, well, I think Casey's husband would help out, but I want to be like somewhat respectful of that.
Somewhat respectful.
You guys know when this train, when this train's leaving the station. Just let me know, and I'll try to get over there and do it.
Yeah, you should totally do that.
Can you imagine?
You can't take any recording devices with you, can you?
No, but
It'll be streamed, though. We'll be able to see your performance.
We should just play it live on the air.
We should.
See if I say any words you're not allowed to say.
Yeah, no, you should go do it. Say what's on your mind.
Yeah, okay, very good. All right, so Costco is...
suing the U.S. government.
This is... okay, so this is fascinating. So, obviously, Costco, a major... What do we call them? A wholesaler? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Good chance you've got if you live in any sort of... If you're within the sound of our voice, there's probably a Costco within driving distance of you, right? They're everywhere. And they are now suing NBC, numerous other media outlets having this story. They are now suing the Trump administration, and they're asking the Court of International Trade to strike down Trump's tariffs as unlawful and give them all their money back.
Yeah, they want a full refund on tariffs. They argue that Donald Trump's use of emergency powers to create the tariffs was not allowed by law. Now, of course, that decision has not been made yet.
Yes, it's currently in front of the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court... So one of the cool things that has happened in the past decade is the Supreme Court has now allowed oral recording, I guess would be the word, where there's still no cameras in the Supreme Court. But it used to be just bad sketches and handwritten notes. And now they release the... oral transcript or whatever it is, like the recording of the event from each day. You can go hear it for yourself. And one of the things that's very clear, so a group of, it's 20 plus Democrat states and a group of small business organizations, multiple small business organizations are suing the Trump administration saying these tariffs are unlawful because he's using this Emergency Powers Act to level these tariffs. And they're saying, look, there's no emergency going on. If you want these tariffs, you need to go through the Congress, proper orders to go to the Congress, say, here's why we need them, vote it up or down. And then, hey, if they enact it, then, we'll deal with it. But you're not going about this the right way. And it appeared, based on the recordings that were released, that the Supreme Court is inclined to agree with the business organizations and the states that are suing. However, what they're wrestling with is, if they agree with them, the mass chaos it will unleash on the American government and economy if the government is indeed forced to give people their money back. It was a fascinating thing to see. Amy Coney Barrett was one of them who was like out loud wrestling with this, basically saying, I kind of agree with you and want to vote for you, but what happens with this? And to the credit of the guy who was arguing the case for the plaintiffs, he was basically like, Judge, you make a good point. Not our problem.
Right.
Your job is to enforce the law.
You just have to rule on this.
Yeah, they made this mess. They got to clean it up. You can't rule based on that.
So Customs and Border Protection refused Costco's requests to delay calculating the total tariffs it owes. So that could make it harder for Costco to get their money back. It's like, how much have we lost, or how much would we be owed?
Well, that's the other part of and it's actually something Trump has said out loud. Now, so then this gets fascinating, where, okay, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, you can't say that the Supreme Court can't enforce the law because there'd be too much havoc. You did this, sir. You should have thought about that before you did this thing, because pretty much everybody under the sun who was remotely objective from the moment you started doing this was saying there's not an emergency with Great Britain. There's not an emergency with Australia or Japan. He would have had solid footing on the Canada-Mexico stuff because of the fentanyl crisis. Right? To be able to say, look, these illegal drugs are coming and they're killing people. We have to do something.
But it's because he expanded on Liberation Day.
And this goes back to the 1970s and Richard Nixon, when Richard Nixon was president, and there's a sort of a kind of a what appears to be a pretty clear standard of what's an emergency and what's not. This is definitely not meeting that. He being Trump, is just trying to bypass the authority that should lie with the United States Congress. And so I am going to be fascinated to see how the Supreme Court, for lack of a better term, tries to split the baby to rule what they think is what appears to be what they think will be correct based on their comments during the arguments, but also recognizing you could tip the American economy and the American federal government upside down if they rule it this way.
So these are two separate cases. You've got the bigger tariff case, which the Supreme Court heard on November 5th, and the lawsuit from Costco was filed on November 28th. But it's not Donald Trump's job, though, to worry about Costco's margins.
It's not, but it is his if he's illegally taking money from them. That should be his job to worry about. And this is the problem with Trump. I mean, look, it's the problem with Biden. It's, any person now who's president, especially in a post-George W. Bush 9/11 era where we just give the president essentially power to do whatever he desires, and then it's up to a court to strike it down. That should be something you're thinking about. Hey, based on the Constitution, what does this say, and how would a court be likely to rule? And I should probably proceed accordingly based on that. Well, instead, Trump just does it. He appears based on his own comments because, he can't not talk if someone puts a microphone in front of his face. And then he talks himself in circles. He has at various times essentially admitted it probably legally wouldn't pass muster. But then he goes, well, you can't, but they can't strike it down because it would just cause havoc to the economy and the government.
So rather than
operate like that as a society,
rather than ask for permission, he'll ask for forgiveness. Costco's not the only company that's doing this, by the way. Other companies have sued as well. Bumblebee Foods, Kawasaki, Revlon. So imagine all of these companies saying, me too, where's my money from the tariffs?
Well, and I believe it was Coney Barrett was the one in the back and forth. That's what she was struggling with this lawyer for the plaintiffs, was to say, oh, okay, but could anybody then get in? And he's like, well, yeah. I mean, this is not a hard conversation. If the government has done something illegal, if the government has broken the law, then you have to push back on this. You cannot worry about the ramifications to the government based on the government not following the rules. They made this bed; they'll have to sleep in it.
So the governor of Minnesota, he was asking for the release of Trump's MRI, and guess what? They released it.
Oh, should we talk about that next?
Yeah, that and Christmas time in the White House. All of the stats regarding the Melania Trump Christmas.
Oh, how exciting! Probably very affordable.
Probably not. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Santa's checking his list, and the Hoosiers keep landing on the nice and nasty list. Nice hustle. Nasty from downtown.
And three-pointer on the way. Yes!
Coach Darren DeVries has a workshop full of sharpshooters and high flyers, stacking up wins like gifts under the tree. Grab the cocoa and enjoy some holiday hoops. IU versus Minnesota, Wednesday at 7 on your home for Hoosiers basketball. 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. The year-end clearance sale is here, and before we turn 99 years old, we're slashing prices up to 50% off brands like Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, even Tempur-Pedic floor samples. Rock bottom prices plus interest-free financing, cash discounts, and free delivery within 75 miles of Columbus. Hurry! The lowest prices of 2025 in Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Hey guys, it's Rob for our friend Mark Deedle. You know, Indianapolis real estate market is strong, but it's not easy. Now is a good time to sell only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like Mark Deedle Realty. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market, you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Neil in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I'd already moved and listed my old home with an agent friend for 60 days. Not happy, I decided to evaluate the Mark Deedle marketing plan, and I switched. To my relief, after about 15 days on the market, the Mark Deedle team sold my home as is for the price I needed. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You know the day destroys the night.
You know, nobody remembers that Jim Morrison went fat on the run from the law and in a bathtub in another country.
Mm-hmm.
He was that cool in his life that...
That's where he's buried, in France.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, he was that cool in his life that nobody just remembers the kind of pathetic way in which he went.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a bathtub.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of bad and fat. It's Kendall. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob Casey's here. So Trump's MRI is out.
It is. So the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, was calling for the release of the MRI results. And Trump, when he was on Air Force One, he was talking about it.
They asked about my MRI. MRIs are very...
Governor Walz asked you to release MRI records.
Will you tell us what it was Governor Walz? You mean the incompetent Governor Walz? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect. What were they It's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So if you want to hear about it, or if you want to release it, you want to have it released? News Nation, failing News Nation. News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Please, can you tell us what they were looking at?
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain, because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
He's got to insult the reporter on his way out, which you would be incapable of doing.
But see, that there are some of these people that totally deserve to be insulted. She didn't ask anything there that was inappropriate. She didn't ask anything there that was a gotcha. Hey, did an MRI. What part of the body? I don't know. Maybe it was Tad. Maybe if they had MRIs when Tad was around, he would have died. And then he insults her. Why? Why would you, why, what did she ask that was inappropriate? Hey, can you just tell us what's going on?
Maybe she was from an organization which he does not like.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But now let's go to the other side. They've been killing this guy off since he got in office in 2017. He appears to be perfectly fine. He's an older guy, so anytime he gets bruising or whatever, that's it. It's all over. Trump's got some heinous, horrible disease. He's going to die. No, he's just an older guy. People bruise when they get older. Oh, his calves appeared swollen or ankles or whatever it was. Yeah, it happens to older people. Like, you're not throwing, it's not one foot in the grave, another foot on a banana peel, right? According to his MRI, like those people thought, he's fine, and these Trump's going to die people just look ridiculous.
So Trump's doctor says that the president had MRI scans of his heart and his abdomen. It's part of a preventative health checkup for men his age. They said that the MRI results were perfectly normal and that the scans were to help catch any early problems.
You ever had an MRI?
I don't think so.
I bet you know somebody who's had an MRI.
Yes, I do.
Probably multiple people.
Yeah.
They tell you what, they don't just scan your whole body, do they? When he's like, I don't know. It wasn't my brain.
You lay on a table and you go into a tube.
Well, they tell you what they're looking at and
Normally,
for, don't they?
You know what they're
Well,
looking
that's my
for.
point.
Yeah.
It wasn't my brain. I can assure you of that. How could you not know what they're doing the MRI on? Sir, we have a concern about whatever, any person, right? Your shoulder, your abdomen, whatever. And it sounds like he's everything does not have to be confrontational. Just everything doesn't have to be the world's biggest fight. Just say, hey, I'm an older guy. As far as I know, I'm in perfect health. To be, have precautions. They do these tests. I'll release them out to you. Look, here they are. Have a good day. Thank you. Goodbye. Instead, it turns into some food fight over. It's tough to fight the world all the time, and I think it's why Trump struggles to form any sort of allegiances in the media, because everything has to be some knockdown, drag out affair. And as a politician, as an entertainer, you can do that. But as the president of the United States, you have to try to work with these people a little bit, because to some extent they controlled the dissemination of the message.
Did you like how he turned it into his phone call, by the way? That was perfect, too.
It's like, man, it is interesting. You and I have talked about this before. A lot of these people, and you would think Trump would get it better than most people, but so many of these politicians struggle to understand the media. There's a way you deal with the media. There's a language you speak. There's a way they operate. And it doesn't mean they're going to like you. It doesn't mean they're going to agree with you. It doesn't mean they're always going to write nice things about you. But there's a way you can deal with the media. People all the time are like, Rob, you have all of they always name the people. And this liberal writer is your friend. And this liberal person is your friend. And blah, 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 blah. How do you get along with him? Because I know how to speak the language, right? It's like any other industry or field or whatever, where part of what the media, and this is what so many politicians don't grasp, is I have many liberal friends in the media who hate everything I stand for, but you know what they know? I believe every word that I say of it. They know everything is genuine and you're not BSing them. And there's many liberal people in the media who have written nice things about me who politically can't stand me, but they know, hey, this guy's real in what he says. And I think a lot of times with these politicians, the media goes after them because they think they're bullcrapping them. They think they're fibbing to them. They think they're being disingenuous with them, and they're going to call that out.
It's just a message. So the First Lady marked the 5th time of decorating the White House for Christmas. The theme is Home is Where the Heart Is, and it is to spotlight the American spirit of generosity, patriotism, and gratitude.
How much?
You know what? I don't have a cost, but what I do have is how much it took. So the East Room is decked out in a America's 250th birthday theme. The Red Room has a theme, which is called Fostering the Future. The Green Room has a theme, which is Family Fun. They have over 25,000 feet of ribbon, 2,000 strands of lights, 120 pounds of gingerbread. Over 700 feet of garland, 51 Christmas trees, and 75 wreaths. It's a lot of decorating.
It seems
And she had someone else do it for her.
Well, nothing says totally connected to the condition of the country like having every room with a theme. And how many pounds of gingerbread?
What was it, 750?
Yeah.
120 pounds of gingerbread.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, it's getting good marks because it is more of a classic, traditional look.
Yeah. Okay, when we come back, and I asked you, I was like, is this interesting? And you said, yes, it is. This little...
Did I say that?
Well, you said it was worth doing on the show, right?
Did I?
Or did I imagine that? Maybe it's in my mind. I thought it. I don't know. Maybe nobody will find this interesting at all. I did find this fascinating that a sitting U.S. congressman on social media decided he wanted to tangle yesterday. And I thought, getting into it with a radio guy on Facebook as a congressman, you shouldn't even know I exist. But in the meantime, before we get to that, some guy who everyone knows exists and is probably the most important part of this radio station, Jarrett Lewis in the news.
Yeah, he's up next on 93 WIBC.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They are wanting to know more. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:30, brought to you by Window Nation. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle demanding more information on the military strikes on suspected drug boats in the Caribbean. There's a dispute over if Secretary of War Pete Hegseth gave a kill order for a second strike on an alleged narco boat back in September. Hegseth denies that, and the White House is also defending their operations. It is considered a war crime to order a lethal strike on defenseless targets instead of arresting them. Accused killer Luigi Mangione is due back in court in New York City today. His lawyers fight to keep crucial evidence out of his upcoming murder trial.
Correctional officers from Pennsylvania guarded Mangione when he was behind bars. They work at the Huntington Correctional Facility, and they testified about their interactions with the wealthy Ivy League graduate to portray him as an easygoing prisoner who talked about his travels, books, and the differences between public and private health insurance. Prosecutors say Mangione's complaints about the country's healthcare industry was the motive behind his shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Corrections officer Tomas Rivers said Mangione wanted to know how he was being portrayed in the media, if the focus of the stories was on the crime or on his cause.
Fox's Chad Pergam reporting. Another corrections officer testified that Mangione said he had a 3D printed pistol, and authorities say they did recover a 3D printed handgun from Mangione's backpack during his arrest. And billionaire CEO of Dell Technologies, Michael Dell, and his wife Susan, who together founded the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation, announcing today in a post to X that they have committed to fund investment accounts for millions of American children. The announcement works with a new federal program that allows parents to open a tax-advantaged investment account for children under 18 with a Social Security number. The Dells have committed to seed these accounts with $250 for children who are 10 or younger and who were born before January 1st of this year. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
It's B Windows' biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Trust me. Come in to Exercise Inc. for a free consultation in the month of December and get 2 free sessions. Exercise Inc. 5 locations. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Okay, we got to get into this back and forth I had with the congressman yesterday. But first, to answer your husband, because money is of no object to you, you just spend it. He's responsible for saving it.
Sure, which is why I'm here every day. It's just for fun. Just for fun.
Yeah, tell me, how many times in the course of a heated argument with your husband have you looked at him and said, well, I just go to work to fund your little magazine hobby?
I've never said that to him.
Casey and I had a conversation earlier, if you missed it. About what's the most you've ever paid to go to an event, because we were talking about the Big Ten championship game being at Lucas Oil Stadium on Saturday, IU, Ohio State, and the very high prices the tickets are commanding. And what do you say? Like, you saw $390 was the cheapest, I think you said, up near the tippy top of the stadium.
Right. And then it would go up into the thousands.
Right, for lower level. So I asked you, like, what's the most you've ever paid to go to an event? And you said, well, I just spend money. I have no idea.
I just show up.
And so Jim let me know, even though you don't know your own life, he's all over it. He said the 2012 football national championship, that was Notre Dame, Alabama.
Correct.
That's correct.
I was there.
That game was over at the kickoff.
That was the, what's his name?
Manti
Te'o game.
Yeah. That was the year that Notre Dame won all sorts of games against bad teams they shouldn't have won. And only because they were Notre Dame, they got in the national championship. And, yeah, they got smoked. But anyway, glad you got to fly out there. 2 tickets, $700 total, so that'd be $350 each. And he said the seats were terrible, upper bowl at the end zone.
I remember, I know I sat close to Pocky Kelly, Brian Kelly's wife. She was there.
Is she as miserable as he is?
No, she was a nice lady. Isn't that the way it works?
Yeah.
In relationships, one is very nice and the other's not.
So anyway, there you go. That's the latest on how much.
I'm not looking at you or anything. I'm not talking about you.
Okay,
Yes.
so we got to talk about this little back and forth that with Marlon Stutzman yesterday. So, for those of you who don't remember who Marlon Stutzman is, he was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, was, by all accounts, did a pretty decent job. He didn't have the backbone of a Thomas Massey, but was a pretty conservative member of the House. He ran from the Fort Wayne area. He ran for U.S. Senate in 2016. He got totally smoked by Todd Young, then went back to being a farmer of some sort, I think, and he and his wife got in on some sort of business venture that I don't think went very well, and then his wife became a state rep. She tried to run for Congress and lost, and then he decided when Jim Banks ran for U.S. Senate that Marlon was going to run for the House again and won a contested primary and became a U.S. rep again. So he's back in Congress. Now, I've known Marlon for 10 years. Mm-hmm. He was just on our show last year, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you were here. Mm-hmm. He sat right here for 30 minutes. Did he espouse any sort of grievances about me or my style or being too mean to people or not getting along with people or no, I can't come on your show because of who you are? You sat right here. You saw us, the on-air, off-air conversation. Any of that, was that said by him?
No, he was happy to be here.
Yeah, okay. So he came on our show as recently as last year. His wife a couple of years ago wrote a horrible book. She was begging to come on the show to promote her book. She was on our show when she in her failed run for Congress, right? At any point to any of this, did anybody say anything about, no, Rob, your style is just horrible, and we were disgusted in the way you behave, and you're just too mean to these other Republicans. At any point, did any Christy Stutzman, Marlon Stutzman, anybody say anything about me or my style?
Not that I recall.
Okay, so this took me back because I've known Marlon for 10 years. I worked for his run for Senate. I was a very low-level person, but I was involved in that. He was always very nice and cordial. I've never heard a word from him about anything about my style other than, hey, you do a great job and love coming on your show, and thanks for the publicity. Well, Jim Lucas, you remember Jim Lucas, right?
I do.
He's the Jim Lucas, State Rep Seymour, pled guilty to drunk driving, blowing through a barricade, fleeing the scene, going the wrong way up the exit ramp, trying to hide his car, getting cute with the cops. He pled guilty to all that. It's not in doubt. He had an aneurysm yesterday because we ripped him on this program. And, of course, he can't stand to be mentioned. And we basically said, hey, Jim, why don't you get to work for the public rather than focusing on me because I don't have any control over anyone.
Right.
Why don't you work on bettering the lives of your constituents? And so he made multiple posts yesterday about me. Think about that. A state rep, it's the opening day of session, and he's spending much of his entire day focused on me.
Yeah, well, he had time before he had to drive up to the State House.
And so he made some post, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, because, they tag you in it, you can see your name, whatever. And so I'm chuckling at the comments because Lucas got mostly ratioed. Ratioed, for those of you who don't know, is when you make a post against someone and the people flood onto it saying how bad you suck and they like the person that you're talking about. And he got pretty ratioed pretty hard on this, and people saying the same thing I've said, which is, hey, idiot, Rob doesn't affect anything. Rob says the things we believe. Why don't you get to work on property taxes or utility bills or gas taxes or whatever else and just leave him alone?
It's a lot of choices.
Yeah, right?
Plenty you could choose from.
And then, so I'm reading through these comments, chuckling, and then all of a sudden I see Marlon Stutzman on there, who is a sitting U.S. congressman. And he responds to Lucas's post, I stopped listening a long time ago. He worked on my 2016 campaign and was great. Talk about a guy who let the system change him rather than he change it. And I'm reading this going,
the system changed you. What system? You're a broadcaster.
Yeah, right. I haven't been in the system for 10 years. And Casey, you can back me up on this. In the 4 years we've worked together, have I changed at all?
No, you're just as charming as the day I met you.
Yes, thank you. And I think anybody who's known me for any length of time, in fact, one person got on this thread and was like, I've known Rob since elementary school. He's been the same a-hole ever since then. Nothing's changed, just a bigger platform. But I'm thinking okay, did I imagine this guy was I stopped listening a long time ago, and this guy's so changed. He was just here last year wanting publicity on our show and didn't say a damn word about it.
I was going to say, he stopped listening yet. He was here.
Okay, so I responded to him, as I do with all these politicians. I simply said, hey, man, you were just on my show last year. Don't recall you saying anything to my face. Why don't you come on? Let's discuss how I've changed, and let's talk about the trillions of dollars you just voted to add to the nation's debt and inflation, making everything more expensive. And then he did the thing they always do where they somehow know exactly what I'm saying, but they don't listen to the show, which is an amazing thing.
Right.
I mean, it's an amazing gift that all of these politicians seem to have where they somehow know about the conversations, but they don't listen to the program. And he did that. But then he said, and this was the thing to me that got me. I've always liked your fight, but don't fight all of your friends, pal. Loyalty should matter. So basically what a sitting congressman is saying, and this is so important, and we've heard this from many of these politicians, it doesn't matter what we do. If you're a Republican, you don't have any right to criticize us. And if you do, and what do we do on this show? We point out the facts. We say, look, this person voted on this, and they voted on this, and here's the ramifications of this, and this is how this is hurting you. What a sitting congressman, how bizarre it is that he's having a back and forth with the radio guy on social media. That's very weird. But what he's saying out loud, and I screenshot it, you can see it at Rob M. Kendall if you want to go see this whole back and forth, is that we hate the fact that you're pointing out how we're voting on things. You're disloyal, Rob.
Don't hold us accountable.
Yeah, because you're pointing out how we're voting on things, and the fact that you are telling the public, as a Republican, how other Republicans are voting and how that's impacting them. Now, all of a sudden, you're disloyal. That's what the Republicans think of you. That's a Republican in good standing. When they talk about Republicans in good standing, if you criticize them, if you point out what they're doing, if you point out how they're harming other people, if you point out might be better to get somebody else,
you're not towing the company line.
So I'll just read my response to him, and then we'll get to break because I know Hammer's next. Are you ready? Marlon, I haven't changed a bit. My views are exactly the same as they were 9 years ago during your embarrassing run for Senate. The same as they were a few years ago when your wife was begging to come on to promote her horrible book. And last year when you came on.
No reply?
I think he replied something else, but these are our elected people. This is who's representing us. You want to know why the country's in the shape it's in? Because people like that are calling the shots. And the thing with Marlon that's so frustrating is he's changed so much since he went back this time. He was a guy who in the past would fight these budget bills. He would fight against spending. He would speak out. But you know what he realized? What'd that get me? It got me smoked by Mitch McConnell in a primary. And he saw a guy like Jim Banks, who also used to be kind of a fighter, who also used to be a guy who'd push back, who'd also be a guy who'd speak out. And what did Jim Banks realize? Hey, the fastest path to elevate is just tell Donald Trump to bend over, put his butt cheeks right in my face and go, And that's what these guys realize. And it's not good for our country when these guys realize the fastest way to growth and prosperity in their political careers is not to fight for us, but to fight for the power structure. And that really rests on us because we keep voting for these people and rewarding that behavior.
Well, the thing he needs to realize is that in this country, the people get to question the government. And they have to understand that when you're in a position of power, that invites scrutiny. And that's what we're going to do here on the Kendall Casey Show.
And the invitation, Marlon, you just came on last year and didn't say a word. That same invitation comes for you to come and tell me how much I've changed, how disloyal I am, how great the Republicans are, how you voting to add trillions of dollars to our nation's debt this year is helping with affordability of living and inflation. That invitation totally stands, and we hope you'll accept because we'd love to have that. I would love for you to tell me how much I suck.
By the way, he followed me on X afterwards. I'd be so sorry to disappoint you. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, an update on that Venezuela double tap story. It is not what they told you. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
It's cold out there, and if you spent all last winter thinking that it was time to replace your windows, but you didn't want to spend the money or have your windows done in the middle of winter, it's good you waited, because right now during Window Nation's end-of-year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. Not only could you get affordable custom windows windows, but shorter wait times mean you'll get them fast. And Window Nation will install them in one day while keeping your house warm and dry.
And once they're installed, your new windows instantly stop those bitter, freezing drafts that come into your house. They're backed with a lifetime warranty, and you're going to save money on your monthly utility bills. It's no wonder Window Nation has over 45,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Ask about the big Window Nation end of the year sale. Your chance to save 50% off all style of windows plus 0% financing for 5 years. Visit windownation.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
This Black Friday, skip the lines and hit the gas. Now through December 13th, Financial Center is offering auto loan rates as low as 4.99% APR for up to 66 months, whether you're buying new or refinancing. Plus, enjoy no payments for 90 days, giving you room to breathe this holiday season. Start now at fcfcu.com/auto. That's fcfcu.com/auto. Subject to underwriting guidelines. See website for terms and conditions.
Oh, my goodness, this may be the greatest deal yet from Universal Windows Direct. Listen to this. I know every day we come on here and tell you about the deals, but they just keep getting better. And if you have been thinking about upgrading the windows in your home, now is the time to strike. Listen to this. As usual, we've got the old tried and true. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. There's no limit on that. Then on top of that, you're going to get 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 years of 0% financing. Makes it one of the most flexible payment plans they've ever offered. And last but certainly not least, a free vacation voucher with your project. Yep, that's right. You're improving your home now, and you'll have a future trip to look forward to later. So let's review. Buy 2, get 2 free. 0% interest for 60 months and a free vacation voucher. But that's only if you call Universal Windows Direct today. Some restrictions may apply. Get all the info and schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Hammer here for my friends at AAA. The holidays are here. It's upon us, and so is winter weather. This year, stay prepared and give everyone on your list the gift of a peace of mind by giving them a AAA membership. As a AAA member, you get roadside assistance 24/7, 365. Flat tire, dead battery, you name it, AAA is there. You also get exclusive travel discounts, hotels, rental cars, and all the cool events happening around the Hoosier State this holiday season. Now through the end of the year, new members can join AAA for just $50 for a 1-year classic membership and add an associate for free. This is a great gift idea. Give someone you care about a AAA membership. Visit AAA.com and use the code HOLIDAY25. That's HOLIDAY25 at AAA.com, or just call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit your local AAA office. Give the gift of AAA this holiday season. Tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Mark Deedle, the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Neil in Indy had already moved and listed his old house with an agent friend for like 60 days. He wasn't happy. He decided to go with Mark Deedle. And after about 15 days on the market, Mark Deedle's team sold Neil's house as is for the price he needed.
Mark Deedle is the only real estate expert we trust and recommend on the Hammer and Nigel show. And it's the guarantee that separates Mark Deedle from the competition. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Nobody does it better than Mark Deedle. Contact him today, 317-755-4232. 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
Okay, we're going to go to the WIBC hotline. Jason Hammer is joining us now. We're going to prove a point. You may hear the Hammer, hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You are out near the bathroom where this buzz, this broken sink that has been broken for months now, it has reached a fever pitch. And to prove a point, we're opening the door, turning the microphones on, and we hope everybody can hear this loud buzz that has been distracting us for months that no one will do anything about.
So I am outside of the bathroom right now. I'm not even in it. I'm about to walk in, okay? So here, I'm going to put my phone up so you guys can hear this bathroom.
Okay.
Hold on. Now, as you can hear, I'm in the unisex bathroom, which in itself is a danger zone. But it feels like if I were to sit on the can right now, it'd be like that scene in Lethal Weapon where Danny Glover is afraid he's going to blow up.
Okay, we didn't really have much of this segment, but we're just sick of this. It's been going on for months and months.
Sounds like there's some woodworking going on over
Yeah, it's
there.
it's horrible. It's
There's a
awful,
buzzsaw.
and no one will fix it. No, and for some reason, people keep leaving the water on, which causes the buzz. Despite the fact there's a giant sign that says "Turn the water off."
Oh, he got it. Nice. Ah, the sounds
Okay,
of
I'm coming
silence.
back in. Hold on.
Okay. This is great.
All right.
Man on the street.
We got about a
reporting.
minute left here before we get to a break, Hammer. And this is ridiculous, right? We've been begging for somebody, please fix this for months, and then everybody's just like, oh, there's the buzz again.
Well, there's a sign on the mirror in the unisex bathroom that clearly states how to fix the issue. Turn the water on, turn it off, and it usually stops. But whoever it is, I don't know if it's somebody from the newsroom, I don't know if it's somebody from the fan, but they look at that and just be like, ha, and they just walk out, and it makes that god-awful noise.
And I literally just fixed it like 10 minutes
did.
ago. I went in there and did it, and it started again.
You know what I did to turn it off?
What?
What exactly it said to do on the piece of paper that was on the mirror.
And nobody in this building, everybody knows this is going on. It's been going on for months, and nobody will do anything about it.
No, it's Operation Shutdown in this building right now.
What are you doing this afternoon?
So we are going to have a lot of fun today. Our friends from Hughes Culinary are coming in to whip up a bunch of holiday cocktails.
Nice.
We've got some of the folks from AEW Dynamite going to be joining us in studio. And the latest from the State House. I love blowing up drug dealers. We're going to talk more about that, too.
All right. Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Mark your calendar for December 9th. St. Philip's Church and Indianapolis Urban League present a drive-through food box and meal distribution. Get fresh produce, meat, and pantry staples. No ID needed. First come, first served. Questions? Call 317-693-7603.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
See the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hey, Dan, that spaceship-wide lunch meeting at noon, please say it's not more astronaut ice cream and powdered orange drink.
Negatory. Ground Control hooked us up with EasyCater, so now we can order from a galaxy of restaurants with tools to stay on budget and meet our dietary needs.
Thank heavens. My dairy tolerance and anti-gravity is not great.
And with EasyCater, it's all on one simple platform, so we can focus on space stuff, like that asteroid. So how about tacos? Hold the cheese.
EasyCater, a stellar way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers studios, how crews are tending the roads, which have turned icy in some spots and have been covered by a few inches of snow. What charges a former Ben Davis track coach is now facing, and who's hitting the court tonight in college basketball. Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
We may hear from the Secretary of War soon. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. When Pete Hegseth and the rest of the Trump cabinet meet with the president this hour, with a controversy simmering over the U.S. military operation in Venezuela, blowing up boats, trafficking illegal drugs, killing alleged narco-terrorists. At issue, an attack 3 months ago. A second strike killed survivors of the first bombing. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries wants to know
whether war crimes were committed and either U.S. law or international law or both were violated.
The White House is denying that any international law was broken. They are also saying that Secretary Hegseth did not give that second order to kill those people that had survived that strike. They instead, it was an admiral who carried out that attack. We'll be interested to see if Secretary Hegseth had anything to say with it. He's usually seated right next to the president at these cabinet meetings.
Fox's Mark Meredith. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem will also be there. After posting on social media a proposed travel ban on countries she wrote are flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies, adding,
"We don't want them, not one." A Homeland Security spokesperson says a list of nations affected by the proposed travel ban would be announced soon. President Trump in June instituted a travel ban on 12 countries, including Afghanistan. The man accused of shooting 2 National Guard soldiers in D.C. last week was granted asylum in the U.S. in April.
That's Fox's Chris Foster. People are out voting in Tennessee in a special election for a vacant seat in Congress.
My opponent wants new and higher taxes to fund her socialist agenda.
Republican Matt Van Epps faces Democrat Afton Bain, who's trying to flip a House seat blue in a district so red President Trump won it by 22 points last year.
If you are upset about the cost of living and the chaos of Washington, then I'm your candidate. Doesn't matter who you voted for.
On Wall Street, the Dow surging 290 points. Bitcoin up 6%, its biggest gain since May. And at the gas pump, a decline. AAA's national average for regular $2.99 a gallon. First time dropping under $3 in 4.5 years. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A few inches of snow and what it's doing to Indiana roads. Cloudy and 27 on Monument Circle, nearing the high of 28 for today under mostly cloudy skies. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Forecasters say be extra cautious if you're out driving in the snow, and especially on icy roads. Ryan Hedrick has more.
You drive like the road is icy by slowing down and giving yourself enough time to get to where you're going.
Just be careful, because where the roads look wet, there may be patches of ice on there.
Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service Indianapolis says his drive on Tuesday from Fishers to Indy took him over an hour.
And that was with roads that have been treated. It's just need to give yourself a lot of extra time.
He says we could see more snow this weekend, but it's still too soon to tell. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Crews around Indianapolis putting in longer shifts since the Thanksgiving holiday in order to get roads in the best condition possible.
So they work 12 on, 12 off during our holiday weekend when most of us were at home or shopping with our families. They were out just working their tails off. And as of this morning, the most challenging part, I would say, is the varying degree of snow we've had.
Adam Pinsker with the City Department of Public Works says as of this morning, they've spread over 3,000 tons of salt on roads. 27-year-old Harrison Goss is facing 8 child seduction charges after 2 former student athletes at Ben Davis High School told police that they were in a sexual relationship with him. A 16-year-old girl told police that Goss would take her home after track practice and they would engage in sexual activity in his car. The other girl was 17 at the time when she said her and Goss were in a relationship for about 2 years. She came forward after hearing about the other girl's story. Wayne Township Schools fired Goss after he was arrested in June. He has a trial set for December 15th, but it will likely get pushed back. The Colts are not placing Sauce Gardner on injured reserve. The quarterback left Sunday's game early against the Texans with an injured calf. Head coach Shane Steichen.
In regards to Sauce, it's his calf. His Achilles is good to go, but probably missed some time. How much time, I do not know at the moment right now.
And the Colts are getting ready to take on the Jags this Sunday. Purdue men's basketball staying at the top in the nation. They're followed by Michigan, which climbed 4 spots in the recent rankings. Indiana climbed 5 spots to number 19. Butler also received votes in the poll. Purdue has Rutgers tonight to open Big Ten play. The Dogs will host Eastern Michigan. As for tomorrow, Indiana will face Minnesota. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Put the phone down, Casey.
I've got it down.
Your social media use is out of control.
Sure it is. My social media use. Your social media use. Everyone's social media use.
Yeah, what, there's a new survey poll?
Yeah, Pew Research came out with the total American social media use for 2025.
Uh-oh.
Growing shares of U.S. adults say they're using Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and Reddit. But
who? They're using who?
Instagram.
Yeah, I know that one.
TikTok.
Uh-huh.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And Reddit.
Yeah, the other 3 are no dice. But they're very popular.
Mm-hmm. But the top social media platform, it's not Facebook. It's not Instagram. What is it?
Is it Twitter?
No, it's not.
Oh, no kidding.
No.
I almost said something else.
Yeah. And I believe we've had this debate in the past, if this is social media or not.
Oh, it's YouTube.
It is YouTube.
Yeah. See, and I think you and I disagreed on this. I do not think that's social media because, well, maybe it is. I mean, I guess you can comment, right?
Yeah.
And you can comment in real time. So maybe it is. I think you're right. You win that one.
It is social media.
Changed my mind.
YouTube, 84% of U.S. adults use it. And if you're on YouTube right now watching the Kendall and Casey show, just give us a like because we would appreciate that.
And I just want to let everybody know, because there's so many of these people. And we love all of our listeners. You're all phenomenal, amazing. Thank you each month to contributing to our bonus checks. We're very grateful for that. But my favorite of all the listeners, and it's very hard to pick a favorite, are the people under the anonymous screen names who sit in our chat and watch our feed all day, every day, commenting how much they hate us. That you guys are the best. The fact that you hate us this much and you give us 3 hours a day every day, that is some dedication to hating. Yeah. I mean, that is like I would love to meet you in person at some point. Now, you're never going to come out from behind that screen name and tell us who you are, But I would love to shake your hand and say thank you, first of all, for your contribution to our checks and being able to feed our families and take care of ourselves. But thank you for that level of dedication of hate, that you hate us that much that for 3 hours a day, all day, every day, not only do you listen, but you sit in there under an anonymous screen name with the picture of an egg or whatever else it might be and tell us how much you hate us. That is somebody that needs to be congratulated.
So YouTube is the most popular platform, 84%, followed by Facebook at 71%, and then Instagram at 50%. Other platforms that followed: TikTok, WhatsApp, Reddit, Snapchat, X. And then for the first time, Pew Research asked about 3 new platforms that is used by about 1 in 10 or fewer adults.
Huh?
Threads, Blue Sky, and Truth Social.
Blue Sky is still around? Or is it Thread? What was the one Facebook invented?
You're talking about the one Instagram did with, it was Threads.
Facebook, right?
Yeah, Threads.
When
Meta.
Elon Musk bought Twitter, all the liberal people said, I'm donezo.
Right.
And Facebook said, oh, we're going to invent this. Is that Threads? Is that what it is? And then, it was a dumpster fire, but it's still there?
It is. Well, yeah, it's still around. And Blue Sky, and then Truth Social's the last one that people go to.
Yeah. Okay, so it's sort of, you're the social media person.
No, you're the social media
I'm not
person.
on the TikTok or the What's Who or the, what's the other one that you're on? Snapchat?
I'm not on that. You're ridiculous. I'm not even barely on Facebook. You are. You're the social media person. But go ahead with your question.
I don't remember what the question was at this point. What I was going to say was, it sort of seems to me, and you're into the crypto. By the way, you just checked your crypto the other day.
I wouldn't say I'm into it. I would say that I invested in it at one point.
Okay, so when we say invested,
watch it.
yeah, you put $100 into Ethereum.
Yeah,
and that's like that's the second one to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's like the major league sports, and then everything else is like sort of. I'm asking.
I went to the G League.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know anything about, but like
neither do I. Really.
Well, I know. But you bought $100 worth. How long ago was this?
It was New Year's Eve, 2021.
Okay, so before we met. So you're coming in on 4 years. What's it stand at today?
$67.67. Wow, I should screenshot that. 67.
That's don't start. So what's fascinating me about crypto, and I say this as someone who knows absolutely nothing about it, but just like most people, I know nothing about it, and I just watch as an outside observer. It would seem, other than Bitcoin, the rest of crypto,
not doing
because there's always
well.
some new coin, this coin or that coin, has really struggled. Yet Bitcoin, I mean, at least compared to where it was, say, 4 or 5 years ago, remains a juggernaut. Now, Bitcoin was all the way up at like $116,000. Now it's, last I checked, down to $86,000. I think got as low as 80. But in terms of, it has continued to rise over the course of time. But everything else seems to have kind of struggled. Why is that? You're the crypto expert here.
I'm not an expert on it at all. All I did was put in $100 so that I could check it every now and then and cross my fingers and hope one day that it doubled. It has never done that. At one point, just a few months ago, recently, it went up to $93. That was the highest it had ever been. And just in a matter of a couple of weeks, it's now down to $67.67.
Now, think if you extrapolated that out to real money, right? Like you like, I mean, I'm not saying $100 is not real money, but over the course of 4 years, as someone as rich as you don't even know that's gone. These people that are putting, thousands and thousands of dollars into this stuff,
right?
And you're losing that percentage of your money.
Yeah, no, it's not like I'm putting my retirement in there or anything like that. I would never do that. To me, it was more for entertainment purposes. It's like gambling, right? This is my bankroll.
Yeah, sure.
This is what I have.
Right.
And we'll see what it does.
And you've gotten your $100 worth of joy just checking it on a consistent basis.
Have I?
Oh, I'm asking.
I'm still hoping that it'll go up.
I would look at that like I do sports betting a lot of times. There are games I bet where I think I know the outcome, but like I'll pick a random game that I like, okay, I don't know anything about really either of these teams in terms of betting it, but I'm going to put $5 on it and watch it for 3 hours and get 3 hours of entertainment that I wouldn't have had for $5. Like if I lose it, okay, I would have preferred to win, but where else are you going to get 3 hours of entertainment for $5? Sort of the same thing with your Ethereum. My point in all this is it feels like there is a crypto, which is Bitcoin, right? Like that's the main one.
It's like the name brand.
And then there's all this other stuff around it. Social media sort of feels the same way where you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got Instagram. I guess to some extent TikTok, though, I think that's more like a dedicated group of users. I don't think your average person is engaged or hanging out on their TikTok. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like those are the big 3.5.
And then you've got these secondary levels.
Yeah, which is like your dude coin or whatever the newest flavor of the day is that'll cost people a bunch of money.
So broken down on age, adults under 30 use Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Reddit the most. That surprises me that Reddit shows up as much as it does.
Which Reddit is very left, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. YouTube, the most popular across all the ages. Facebook peaks in the 30 to 49-year-old age group. And older adults, 65 plus, use Instagram the most and TikTok much less. And when you break it down on gender, women are more likely to use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are the three that I'm on. So that makes sense. Men are more likely to use X and Reddit.
Reddit. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, there's too many old people on social media, and then I realized I am an old person now. I am one of the old people.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because roughly half of American kids now have a smartphone by the time they turn 11.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
For what purpose would a kid need a smartphone at the age of 11?
Call mom and dad?
Well, the phone can call mom and dad. Oh, okay, so you're saying, well, okay, maybe this phone is not hooked up to the internet. It doesn't necessarily mean it's hooked up to the internet.
Can you buy a phone that's not hooked up to the internet?
I don't know. Kev, can you buy a phone that's not hooked up? Could you do that? Yeah, they still make the flip phones. When you go in and get a new phone?
Yeah, you could definitely just get a flip phone.
We had, let's see, this was before you were here. So that's been several years now when Mock was still here. We had a very loyal group of listeners. They were all the way back to the Chicks days, and they were in town for a racing event, and they came in and hung out for the day. Wonderful, very nice people, and the husband had a flip phone without access to the internet, and it was like, what?
He was probably the happiest one in the bunch.
Oh yeah,
too.
they were wonderfully happy. They were wonderfully happy because the internet is a cesspool of suck, and guilty as charged for contributing to the cesspool of suck.
Right.
But I can't stop now, Casey. I'm addicted.
Yeah.
It was either that or drugs. I chose social media.
Well, research coming out saying that the use of the smartphone for preteens leads to depression, obesity, and insufficient sleep. Insufficient sleep, I can totally agree with that.
Yeah.
You're up all night posting
I'm
stuff.
up all night because I have a 2-year-old tyrant that keeps me up
And
all
what
night.
do? You pick up your phone, don't
Well,
you?
what am I supposed to do? Just sit there and stare at the ceiling? I can't be playing,
read a book, Rob.
movies in the background.
I'm just days away from getting a Cricket. Isn't that the phone that has very large print so you can read it?
Okay, so here I think I could quit social media for a month if there was the right financial incentive.
Oh.
Like I think I could do that.
Interesting.
Now, you're very rich, so you should come up with one.
I don't think you could, actually.
Oh, I could.
No, because when you leave here to go on your forced vacation days, you are chomping at the bit to get back on the air. I have to imagine you'd be the same way with social media.
Yeah, but if there was money.
I can tell when you're not here on the air, you let it all out online.
Yeah, but look, I'm so cheap, Casey, that if there was I'm not saying it would be $5.
We'd have to bribe you.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to be a substantial financial reward. I would be able to do it.
The masses would miss your hot takes.
Nobody
online.
would miss anything.
You don't think?
No.
Do you think that it would affect your mental health? Would you be happier?
Oh, I'd be much happier.
You would not have a venue to let it out.
Well, no, but I would look. It's realistic, a safeguard, right, to not go completely insane, to not turn into the guy from The Shining, right? Yeah, I have to do it once I come back to work.
What's the longest you've ever gone without posting?
Posting?
Yeah.
I've gone several days without posting.
What about viewing, engaging?
3 seconds. In fact, we got to go to this commercial break so I can
check your social media. It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Put on a red tie, take a picture on the red carpet, then settle in for a night where politics actually makes sense. And the punchlines are intentional.
This year wasn't just unpredictable. It needed subtitles.
Be part of an evening with smart conversation, outstanding bourbon, and that signature Tony Katz blend of insight and entertainment. This is a night that will make your friends jealous if they don't join you. Tony Katz presents Trump 1 year later, January 24th. Get your tickets at WIBC.com.
I've been a Republican my whole life. I proudly voted for President Trump 3 times.
I want Republicans to win.
But mid-cycle redistricting isn't the right way to do it. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
And it gives D.C. more power to tell us what to do.
That's not how Hoosiers do things.
Tell your legislator, spend your time passing a conservative agenda
that lowers costs and makes our lives better. And don't rig our elections.
Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Anticipation of the Christmas season offers the celebration of joy, hope, and redemption as we celebrate the birth of Jesus. But maybe you don't feel joyful. You've lost hope, and redemption of your situation seems impossible. Grief isn't limited to the loss of a loved one through death. Many life circumstances can initiate grief and inhibit our ability to embrace meaningful moments. But you don't have to grieve without hope. Join us at Life Church for our Blue Christmas services, designed to give you space for your grief. Go to lifechurchin.com for more information.
By the time this ad ends, Washington will have burned through millions of your dollars. That's not how we do things in Indiana. I'm Congressman Jefferson Shreve, bringing Hoosier common sense to Washington. I passed legislation to cut waste, save taxpayers millions, and deliver real tax relief for workers and families. Less waste, more money in your pocket.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me.
James followed through on what he said.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Casey, our elections in Indiana are a mess. Like, there's just too many different ways that we elect people. And one state lawmaker is trying to change a little bit of that, and now people are up in arms because of a bill that was filed yesterday.
Okay, so the redistricting bill wasn't the only bill that was brought up yesterday.
No, so this is coming back. I want to come back to this interview you guys did. It was you and Jim. I was somewhere doing something. Did with Andrew Ireland, state rep from the south side of Indianapolis a few months ago, weeks ago, whatever it was now. And you straight up asked him, you said, hey, if there's a special session, or now this is a continuing session, you know, you are a part of the regular session of what they're doing now, you know, you can file whatever you want. Is anybody going to file anything on property taxes? Because everyone hates this bill while you're here doing something people don't seem to really be all that passionate about. Why don't you do something they are. And his direct response, I have actual audio of this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hang on here. Let me cue this up. Because, no, of course not. They're not. He was not going to file anything about property taxes because Andrew's going to be a good boy and do what he's told by the party bosses. So whether it's utility bills or property taxes or the corruption, the IDC, all that other stuff, it's not going to happen from guys like that because they're focused on doing what they're told because just like with Marlon Stutzman or Jim Banks, the rest of these people, they've recognized being a good boy and smooching the right party boss butt cheeks and being behind the right party causes is the way to elevate. But no, of course, you can file whatever you want, and we're seeing this with this bill that was filed yesterday.
Yeah, so you had 3 other bills that were filed. 1022 changes the method of electing the lieutenant governor. 1034 makes school device policies bell to bell. And then you had 1038, which requires Indiana Gaming Commission to accept applications for a casino license near Fort Wayne.
Which the people up there at Fort Wayne have made pretty clear. Didn't they just make clear they didn't want? Wasn't there a big vote on that recently and that went down in flames? But anyway, so the one that's getting the attention is Danny Lopez, state rep here in central Indiana, I think the Carmel area. He filed this bill to change the way in which the lieutenant governor is elected in Indiana. And don't kid yourself. This is because the Republicans are sick of the embarrassment that Micah Beckwith has been. Not that they're mad about his politics or his faith, that the guy has been an unserious goof who hired in the core orbit many people who are doing a horrible job. Hence how you end up at the NBA Finals with a high-profile known felon and can't tell a coherent story on how you got there. The decent people like your husband who had enough got out of there, but they're just sick of being embarrassed by the guy. Like they're absolutely sick of him not taking the job serious, the people left around him not taking the job serious, and the constant embarrassment it is to the state. And so they said, well, the way to fix this would be just make the lieutenant governor an appointment of the governor, much the way the vice president is the appointment of the president of the United States.
So explain to everybody how the law currently states the lieutenant governor is selected.
Well, this is part of how ridiculous our election laws are, and they're like we elect different people different ways, and that's ridiculous. First of all, the public should not be paying for primaries. As has been made very clear to me, they're private parties. They can do whatever they want to do, and yet you as a taxpayer are forced to pay for some, as was made very clear to me, we make the rules. We're a private club. You're forced to pay for a private club to conduct their business. Should the taxpayers be forced to pay for the Antelope Club across the street from us to do their business? No. But of course, the answer is the Republicans and Democrats couldn't run a 3-ring circus if their life depended on it on their own, so they forced the taxpayers to pay for their primary process. That aside, we elect our governor and senators in the primary through a statewide vote. You got to get all these signatures because they don't want any untowards running. So they make it very expensive and almost impossible for regular people to run for public office under the 2-party label. But the public votes on that. Then the lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretary of state, treasurer, and who's the other one I'm missing? Comptroller now, used to be auditor, are all elected at a convention by delegates who run in a primary. Like, does that make any sense to anyone that we elect statewide office holders differently? Unless, of course, there's very specific offices you wanted to keep untowards out of, and that's when we got to raise all the money to get the signatures to get on the ballot. And the lieutenant governor is one of the ones chosen by the delegates.
It's interesting that this bill only mentions specifically the lieutenant governor and not the other statewide who are elected by delegates. But the new bill that was introduced, House Bill 1022, requires a candidate for governor who has been nominated at a primary election or state convention to certify the name of the candidate for lieutenant governor who will run jointly with the candidate for governor at the general election.
Okay, let's come back to a couple things. The reason they're singling out the lieutenant governor and not the secretary of state, because Diego is a goof, joke, embarrassment too. However, Diego got smart from the beginning. Well, Diego's not smart, but the people around Diego are smart. And they realized if you raise a bunch of money and a bunch of money that goes to you touches everybody else, they won't touch you. That's why nobody ever does anything about Diego. I know we've said this before. The reason Diego never gets targeted, because everybody knows in the State House what he is. But everybody also knows that if you look at the donor list that has come to Diego, a whole bunch of that money goes to a lot of other very powerful people in the state of Indiana, and they're not going to mess with that. Also, it's the election year of the Secretary of State. They're not going to, and you'd run into probably some legal issues with that. But in the case of Micah, one, he doesn't raise any money. And just like Diego, he's a goof, he's a joke, he's an embarrassment, and so are the people around him. And they just said, we're not dealing with this anymore. Now, I don't think that bill's going to go forward this year. I think they're going to wait till 27. I'm not going to say
27 or 26?
No,
you think
like a year from now.
Okay.
I think that bill will probably not go forward this year. I think if it would go forward, they will wait until 27. I'm not going to say why I think that on these airwaves yet. We'll wait and see what plays out. But look, that is not unreasonable to say that the governor, just like the president, would pick the person that is a part of their administration. Now, what is unreasonable is that the taxpayers have to pay for these very clearly, as they espouse, private groups who can ban people from their events. They can choose who's in good standing. They can kick people off ballots if they don't meet requirements. The taxpayers who can't participate in these elections have to pay for these people to have elections. That's what's ridiculous.
That's another bill that should change.
Well, that's not going to. Anyway, that clarifies what's going on. I do not think that bill's going to pass this year.
But we were told that they weren't going to have time to get to some of these other things.
Well, they'll have time to get what. The one thing you can rest assured about the General Assembly, Casey, they'll always have time to get to whatever is important to them.
To them,
yes,
right.
That's right.
It is Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Seeing significant snowfall in the Hoosier State. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. It's 11:30. In central Indiana, folks seeing anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of snow. Some light snow may fall across the state on Wednesday as well, but forecasters say the bigger concern will be the cold moving in later on this week. Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service.
Wednesday night and Thursday night, where we'll see wind chills down below zero and temperatures in the single digits.
Ryan says temps will be so cold that the snow already on the ground won't melt and roads will stay slick. Indy police are investigating 2 different shootings from the south side. One happened last night during a robbery. During the other, a woman was found shot inside a vehicle early this morning. Both victims are in stable condition. And the Indianapolis City County Council unanimously approving a framework for designated outdoor refreshment areas and established the first district in the Irvington neighborhood. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
So the truth is, women live longer than men, often by many years. This has big financial consequences for women. They run a greater risk of running out of money in retirement. That's why it's critical women have the right strategy to file for Social Security. You really have to have someone that knows what they're doing.
The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong age. It's not understanding how Social Security impacts their IRA and 401k withdrawals, their taxes, and even their Medicare premiums. Discover how you could get the most out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. So if you've saved more than $200,000 but have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now at 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120 or visit yourretirementguy.com.
You ready to build your custom dream home? Check out Joyner Homes based out of Greenfield. See one of their model homes in person anytime. It is a great way for you to experience the customization and quality of a Joyner Homes custom built home. Plus, you can meet with a new home specialist to learn about their building process. Available lots if you don't already have one. Find out about floor plans and where they build. Model homes are open 7 days a week from noon to 5 and walk-ins are welcome. Find out more at joynerhomes.com.
I've been a Republican my whole life.
I proudly voted for President Trump 3 times.
I want Republicans to win.
But mid-cycle redistricting isn't the right way to do it. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
And it gives D.C. more power to tell us what to do.
That's not how Hoosiers do things.
Tell your legislator, spend your time passing a conservative agenda
that lowers costs and makes our lives better.
And don't rig our elections.
Paid for by Indiana conservation voters.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Life is full of changes. Seasons shift from hectic and busy to slow and calm. Yet through all of the seasons of life, our windows remain the same, just as we installed them. No matter how much life changes, with our industry's best warranty, our windows provide you with peace of mind that lasts for years to come. Call now or visit bwindow.com and receive 68% off your next project.
That's Faber's B-Window. Trust me.
Guys, I know this is a question many of you ponder on a daily basis. How do I get more hair on the top of my head? And for years, if you didn't know a magician, you were out of luck. But now you don't need a magician. You just need the fine, the fabulous, the outstanding folks at We Grow Hair Indie. I went there almost 5 years ago now, and every time I look in the mirror, I say, wow, one, I'm such a beautiful human being. But two, it's in large part. Don't laugh, Casey. You know what's funny? It's thanks to the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indie. Here's what you do. 317-522-2995. That's the phone number. 317-522-2995. You schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation appointment. And then Darren and the gang, they'll take a look, tell you what's going on, give you some suggestions on how to make that look a little bit better for you. Then it's up to you. In the meantime, see some other folks who made the call at WeGrowHairIndie.com. WeGrowHairIndie.com. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
It's B Window's biggest sale of the year. Get up to 68% off plus no interest, no payments for 24 months. Call now or go to bwindow.com.
Trust me.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Okay, I know you want to get to this Mark Kelly, Pete Hegseth stuff, which we will. But first, I have a very important task for you.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to help me make some money.
Oh, okay.
Are you down?
Yeah.
Now, how much money do I owe you now?
$3.
Is it $3?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who know, may not.
Although we didn't make our bet on the Notre Dame game, did we?
No, not on the air. No, that's what I'm saying. I asked you off air what you thought, and you were correct.
Oh, they met the spread?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, they didn't. No, they lost. I don't owe you money. That's right. They were way ahead.
That's what I'm saying. You only owe me $2.
That's right. I owe you $2.
Yeah.
But it was not an on-air bet anyway. It was just us.
So that one didn't count?
You cost me money. Thank you.
I cost you $1.
I will barely eat this week.
I told you I wasn't feeling good about it.
Do you want to know what a betting poison I am?
I prefaced it.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
So I already won the bets for the show. So Notre Dame plays the 10:30 game at Stanford. And I'm like, okay.
Did you stay up for that game?
I did. I made it to halftime, and then I was like, this game's over. But I will tell you why I left at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked Casey. I said, Casey's been on a heater with Notre Dame because you spent years in South Bend. You know the Irish, whatever. And you were getting several of them right. So I said, hey, the spread's 32.5. What are we doing with that? You said take the spread. So I get ready to make the bet. And then I thought, I'm not going to make a big bet. The odds are -110, so you got to make a big bet to get any sort of payout.
Yeah.
I'll pair it with something that should be a no-brainer.
Okay.
We'll put them together. We'll get plus odds. It's called a parlay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I very rarely get a chance to cheer for a player, and that's why I bet is to have something to cheer for. So I said, I'm going to pick up what they call a player prop. Like, will a player accomplish something? Because we know Notre Dame's going to win the game. In addition to the spread, it'll give me something to cheer for on one of these guys. Well, Jeremiah Love is.
I was going to say, did you bet on Jeremiah Love?
He's the star running back for the Irish. He's such a great runner, and he was one of the Heisman contenders really until this last game. His over/under on rushing yards was like 132.5, and I'm like, that's a lot of yards. I'm going to buy this down like something that he should easily be able to get. We'll say 100 yards, and then I can cheer for Jeremiah Love and watch this thing for the spread. And I'll have two things to keep my interest throughout the course of this game. The second drive of the game, he got injured, Casey. Out for the rest of the game. Dunzo. I think he did come back, but they played a couple more series and then was out. That is what a poison I am.
I can't believe that you stayed up and watched that game.
Well, I left at halftime because I knew he was out, so I thought I'm not going to hit that side of the bet anyway. Notre Dame's going to win this game, so the other part doesn't matter.
And we didn't win our bet.
No. But I'm going to give you another chance to redeem yourself for costing me all that money.
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Okay, so we've got two.
What are we betting on
today? So this is for the Degenerates Next Door Sports Betting Podcast, which will drop later today.
Mm-hmm.
I am tied. I was the co-regular season champ.
You were in the lead.
Yeah, well,
we were in the lead.
We were, and then you had some bets that didn't go great, but we tied with the pro.
Mm-hmm.
So it's me, Hammer, and then Kenny and David are our two pros.
Mm-hmm.
I tied David, the pro, as the regular season champion for the college football.
What do you win for that? Anything?
Nothing.
Pat on the back and a smile?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, I think this is it. This is the grand finale here.
Okay.
It's because this is the championship week.
Mm-hmm.
And if I win these bets, then I'll be the champion. I think they're doing a little trophy or something like that. Okay, so there's two games we're going to be betting on.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Big Ten championship game between Ohio State and Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and then the SEC championship game between Georgia and Alabama.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the lines, and then I'm going to let you make both of the bets for our championship weekend. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we have Indiana at Lucas Oil Stadium taking on Ohio State, number 1 against number 2.
Right.
Ohio State is a 4.5-point favorite with an over-under of 48.5 points. So you can either choose, do I think Ohio State will win by more than 4.5 points or not?
Mm-hmm.
And do I think there will be more or less than 49 points scored in the game? So the floor is yours, Casey.
It's a lot of points, huh? Oh, gosh. Okay. Has Ohio State lost a game?
No. Indiana, Ohio State.
So they're both 12-0.
Both undefeated.
Wow. That's going to be an awesome game.
It is.
I wish those tickets weren't $3,000.
Yeah. Maybe I should bet that much, and then we can go to the next game if we get this right.
Exactly. Okay. And you're doing like a $1 bet on this, huh?
No. I'm going heavy on this.
You're going
one.
heavy?
Yeah.
$2. Okay. This is not going to make me any friends.
Uh-oh.
I know it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Ohio State University for 4.5.
We're laying the 4.5 for Ohio State. Okay,
Yeah.
now this actually moved in our favor. I believe that line was 5.5 to open.
Oh,
so we're getting a little
it's gone down.
We're getting a little better.
Okay.
A little line there. Okay, so Casey's in on Ohio State,
Oh,
laying
gosh.
4.5 points
I
against
don't know.
Indiana.
Like my daughter said, this is like a home game for IU.
Yeah, but Ohio State fans are going to travel.
Of course they will.
Yeah. All right. Don't second guess yourself.
Oh, that's rough.
Don't second guess yourself.
I am. I'm second guessing
You're
it because
no,
I'm
you're
thinking
we're
about
already
all the
done.
IU
We're moving
fans.
on.
Oh, no.
Your gut instinct is usually the right one.
Oh, no.
And then when you get it wrong, you'll be like, thanks for costing my family my mortgage.
Right, and I'm gonna. Thanks for rooting against IU. I'm not rooting against IU. It's just a bet.
Right, that's correct. I'm totally rooting against IU now.
Because you want to win money.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, and then our second game,
Yikes.
the SEC championship game, Georgia taking on Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia is a 2.5-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
We have an over-under currently sitting at 47.5 points. So, do you believe Georgia will win by 3 or more points, or do you believe there will be more or less than 48 points scored in the game? The floor is yours.
Okay. Give me Georgia stats. I am not a Bulldog fan
Georgia
at all.
is number 4.
Yeah.
I believe they have 1 loss on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama comes in at number 10.
Yeah.
I believe they have 2 losses on the season. One of those losses being earlier in the year to Georgia.
Alabama just has not recovered ever since Saban left, have they?
It's been a well, I mean, most
He
programs
does a
would be like, this
really
is
good
awesome,
job on the Sports Day or the
Yeah.
Sports Center.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna go with the points on this one. Because it's an SEC game.
Yes.
They like to score a lot of points.
So you're thinking we're
Yeah.
going over 47.5 points. Okay.
Yeah.
So just to repeat, we are at Ohio State laying the 4.5 in the Big Ten championship
It
game.
hurts to say it. I'm sorry.
And then in the SEC championship game, we were going over 47.5 points.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's it.
There you go.
I think so. Are you feeling good about
Well,
that?
look, here's the thing about college overs, unlike the pros. You essentially have like an unlimited overtime. Now there are limits to it, right? But like, I mean, you can score a lot more points in overtime than you can in the pros. So if you have an over, you're kind of sort of still in the game until the final whistle sounds because the overtime can always work in your favor.
Do we know what time these games are?
Saturday, 4 p.m. is the SEC championship game. Saturday, 8:01 p.m. Got to get that one in there. Is the Big Ten championship game?
Sure. Okay, so we got a night game. That'll be good. There's a basketball game earlier that day, too, at Gamebridge.
Yes, Indiana and Louisville play at Gamebridge.
So it's going to be a whole lot of IU fans.
Casey,
there.
you could just head downtown about
spend all day
noon, start pre-gaming.
Just walk around the monument.
Get yourself totally liquored up and not even be able to stand by the time 11 o'clock rolls around and that Big Ten game wraps up.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that Casey passed out in her chair?
It's not going to be warm enough to do that.
It's indoors.
Yeah, well, I know, to walk around, though, like you said.
Yeah,
no.
but what's going to be one?
Just mill about downtown? No, I'm not going to do that.
Jeez, I had no idea you were such
Were these the bets that you were going to go with? Is that what you had in mind? You didn't think about it at all,
One of
did
them,
you?
but now it's all on you.
Okay. It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Always afraid. Step out of line, the man come and take you away. We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going on.
Hammer and Nigel show tickets are on sale now for our Red, White, and Bowl event presented by Jack Daniels. Go to WIBC.com, buy your tickets. We'll talk this afternoon at 3.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you can save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com, every shingle time.
Fall is great in Indy, so don't ruin it by painting. Do what Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about the Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today. Today.
Potential cannot be measured, and it can't be taken away from you either. You never know how strong you are, how capable, and how amazing you really are until you face a challenge. Our Franciscan Health orthopedic teams guide the steps you take to overcome life's hurdles. Be ready for the high fives, the constant encouragement and care plans designed for only you that help you realize your extraordinary potential. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/orthocare.
Now through the end of Radiothon, Wilson Farm Market is donating 10% of all fried chicken sales to the Salvation Army. Wilson Farm Market, where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465 on US 31.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hey, Dan, that spaceship-wide lunch meeting at noon, please say it's not more astronaut ice cream and powdered orange drink.
Negatory. Ground control hooked us up with EasyCater, so now we can order from a galaxy of restaurants with tools to stay on budget and meet our dietary needs.
Thank heavens. My dairy tolerance and anti-gravity is not great.
And with EasyCater, it's all on one simple platform, so we can focus on space stuff, like that asteroid. So how about tacos? Hold the cheese.
EasyCater, a stellar way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Take charge of your health this Movember. On December 7th, noon to 2, head to Gugman House Brewing Company, 1701 Gent Avenue for the Men's Health event with Franciscan Health. Beer, food, football, and health resources, all in one place. Learn more at WIBC.com.
It was a day, it was Friday. We pulled it out of the dark. He was tall and
Well, we pissed everybody else off here, Casey. Why not the dog people?
Well, you know what they say in Washington? If you want a friend, get a dog.
Just this stat that you told, I can't even. And I know I'm gonna laugh at it, and then I'm gonna get a whole bunch of hate mail from the dog people. So,
Probably.
but
You get hate mail no matter what you do. So.
I've been a dog person though, so I feel like I can weigh in on this.
Okay.
But this is ridiculous.
56% of dog owners believe that their dog is their soulmate.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It was a survey done. They asked 2,000 dog owners, and 81% said they felt like they had ended up with their dog like it was intentional. It was like kismet, right? Like the dog chooses the owner.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, look, I mean, God's got a plan for everything. So by that standard, then okay. But look, it's a dog.
Yeah, I believe that a little bit, though, because I think Gracie Dog chose us. We got Gracie Dog, who, she's no longer with us. She crossed the Rainbow Bridge. But miniature schnauzer, and we went to the place to pick her out, and she kind of, curled up at the bottom of our daughter's feet, and, she chose us.
Did you get her from like an animal?
She was from an Amish farm.
Okay.
In northern Indiana.
Well, maybe she was just ready to get the heck out of that place.
Probably, but she was the only one smart enough to come cuddle at the bottom of my daughter's feet.
Look, okay, here's the thing. And this is like, and we do this with politics all the time too, where people are just such absolutists on anything anymore. And I think social media is a big part of this. But two things can be true at the same time, right? Dogs can be special. Dogs can be amazing. Dogs can be great friends and companions and parts of the family. And then I can also look at that stat and go, that's ridiculous.
And you can also look at it and go, but it's a dog.
Right.
It's an animal.
Exactly. Like, I loved Bruce, my bulldog. I loved him so much, and we talked about him all the time on the show, and he was such a great friend, and he was with me through so many things, and I was brokenhearted when he passed away, and all of that. I miss him terribly, but I'm also not thinking around going, he was my soulmate.
He's the only one I could talk to.
I have a human child. I have a wife.
Correct.
These things in the grand scheme of things, and again, it doesn't mean I don't miss Bruce. It doesn't mean I was so terribly broken up when he passed away, and I don't think of him often, and I have pictures of him around the house. All of those things are true. But he wasn't a soulmate. He's a dog.
Yeah.
We have to have some perspective here.
So 3 in 4 dog owners say their dog's personality resembles their own.
Oh, totally. 100%.
Especially when it comes to energy, social habits, and emotional sensitivity. So that would make sense for you because Bruce was a bulldog.
Yeah. No. I 100%, and you and I have talked about this before. Are you with me on this? That I think the dog takes the shape of its owner.
Absolutely. Based on what it's around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets used to its surroundings and it becomes what it's used to.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce was like when people would interact with Bruce, it was like a dog version of me.
Right.
Well, like you said, attitude, energy,
right.
The way it approached the way Bruce approached people. I mean, all of those things, right? And
I would agree because Gracie was like me.
Yeah.
Lovable and sweet and so stinking cute, and you just want to hug her and cuddle with her and make the world a better place for her.
Now I'm curious, since obviously you were married and had a daughter. Do you think that Gracie took on the form of parts of all of you, or do you think it was primarily would Gracie have associated you as the parent?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
That's another thing. I think the dog chooses who is the leader of the pack in a way. It would vacillate between Jim and I.
Yeah.
Depending on, who is home more often in that stretch of our life, but pretty much whoever fed the dog was the one that she would gravitate to.
You know, one of the things that I remember about Bruce that was like I said, he had this larger than life personality, but he was such a sweet dog, was how he interacted with Livy after she was born.
Yeah.
Like the moment she came home from the hospital, she was crying that day we brought her home, and he was like freaking out that something was like horribly. He'd never seen this baby before.
What is this?
Right? Like, but he was so concerned. And the idea to me that, because you're always like, okay, well, like, how is your dog interact
right,
with a small
and you
child?
have to monitor because you don't know.
But from the moment she was born, like, he just accepted, even though he had been essentially number one for all those years, he just, like, instinctively knew, hey, I'm not number one anymore, and this baby now is number one, and my job is to put up with her driving me crazy. And that was always amazing to me, that how would a dog know to do that?
Instinct, I think. It's got to be, right? That you see that happen with a lot of dog owners when they bring a baby home, that the dog is very, almost in a maternal way, even if it's a boy dog. They say that, according to this study, introverts were more likely to have calm, shy dogs, while extroverts were more likely to describe their dogs as outgoing, friendly, and energetic.
Oh, totally.
So it takes on the role of the owner.
Yeah.
Now, Gracie was my first dog ever.
What?
Yeah.
That's the only dog you've ever had?
Only one.
As a kid, everything?
Yeah. When I was growing up, we weren't allowed. I wanted a dog, but we weren't allowed to have one. And the reason we got
Wait. That's the only dog you've ever had?
Yeah. Don't you feel bad for me now that she's
Now
passed away, and now you know how much it meant to me?
I am actually surprised you have not gotten another dog to this point.
You know what? I mentioned it 2 weeks ago to Jim, my husband. I said, I'm kind of thinking about puppy. And then we went out of town for Thanksgiving, and he was like, yeah, we can't do that with the dog, or the dog's got to come with us. So
yeah.
It takes a long time to get over a puppy, and you can't replace right away. I don't know. I think maybe eventually we'll do that when we're ready to slow down just a little bit more, but we're not there yet.
Okay, final thought.
Yeah?
Dogs are awesome. Dogs are amazing.
All dogs go to heaven.
They're very special. Not your soulmate.
Correct. Yes. And not a human. A member of the family, yes, but not a person. And let's go home.
Bye.
Okay. Thanks, Rob. Thanks,
How about
Kevin.
that for a send-off?
I like
I'm
it.
done with you people.
A nice segue. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of four over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small four-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What are you going to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace through strength.
Is your home stressing you out? why not sell it to us? We will buy any property in any condition.
We receive a tremendous amount of phone calls on that property. A lot of them are very aggravating. You're not going to buy it over the phone, so let's don't kick tires. Come and look, say yay or nay, and then we can both go on down the street. And so James did come, looked it over, we talked, chatted. James, he did a good job. Did what he said he was going to do.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. Owner Chris Wettikin sells the ductless Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, which is a clean and extremely energy-efficient way to heat and cool a specific area.
These systems don't run the air through the ductwork, which is where a lot of your dust and allergies and other displeasing smells come from. And maybe best of all, you're not circulating viruses throughout the home.
Find out more at AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Stay warm and cozy all winter long with a Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing tune-up. Seasonal wear and tear can take its toll on your furnace. Schedule now. Howald Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, where coming home never felt so good.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
4? Man, my drives have been getting weaker and weaker. The same thing happened to me when I turned 40. Men over 40 lose more than just their golf game. Energy, strength, stamina, it all goes downhill. I got Nugenix Total T2 and started feeling like my old self in no time.
America's most trusted testosterone boosting brand is back. Nugenix Total T2, crafted with a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle today by texting BODY to 369-369 now.
All right, let's test this out. Wow, that's on the green, man. Looks like I got my drive back.
Text BODY to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2. Text now and we'll even throw in a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up, that very cold wind chills, especially overnight.
We have been out taking care of what are known as the major thoroughfares.
8 child seduction charges,
which is always significant.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
What to know about the possibility of more snow. Cloudy and 27 degrees in the Circle City, but it feels like 20 with the current wind chill. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. Some snow could fall Wednesday in Indiana. Ryan Hedrick with the details on that.
But forecasters say the bigger concern is the cold that's moving in later this week. Mike Ryan at the National Weather Service explains.
Going to have very cold wind chills, especially overnight, Wednesday night and Thursday night, where we'll see wind chills down below 0 and temperatures in the single digits.
Ryan says the temperatures will be so cold that the snow that's already on the ground won't melt, especially the side streets that haven't been treated. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
On that front, Indianapolis Department of Public Works crews have been out on the roads for 4 straight days, working 12-hour shifts since Friday and spreading roughly 3,000 tons of salt all over the city. That's according to DPW spokesperson Adam Pinsker.
That was as of yesterday morning. We have been out taking care of what are known as the major thoroughfares, the Keystone Avenues, the Kessler Boulevard. Then our focus goes to secondary streets.
He says they will keep at it through tonight as the cold temperatures keeping the snow on the ground and the roads slick. A former track coach at Ben Davis High School facing more charges of child seduction. Here's Jarrett Lewis.
Marion County prosecutors say 27-year-old Harrison Goss is now looking at 8 child seduction charges after 2 former student athletes reported their inappropriate relationships to police. One girl was 16 and said Goss pressured her into having sex in his car when he would take her home after practice. The other girl was 17 at the time. She came forward after learning about the other case. She said her and Goss's relationship was consensual beginning in 2022 until her graduation in 2024. Goss was fired by Wayne Township Schools following his arrest in June. He has a trial scheduled for December 15th, but it's likely it will be delayed. Chair Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A new refreshment area supposed to be coming to an Indianapolis neighborhood next year. Johnette Cruz reports.
The historic Irvington neighborhood is set to become the site of Indianapolis's very first designated outdoor refreshment area, or DORA. The City County Council unanimously approved both the general DORA framework and the specific Irvington district Monday evening. The move, which received overwhelming community support, is expected to create a more vibrant, walkable environment and ensure major events like the Irvington Halloween Festival can continue to thrive. Councilor Andy Nielsen praised the decision, calling it a step towards innovation that will directly support small local businesses. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
An Indianapolis man accused of shooting a dog and a woman during a domestic violence incident that happened a month ago. Court documents out today say the victim reported that Andrew Short II strangled her and shot her arm after an argument at a bar. Then police believe Short also shot and killed her dog. He's been charged with criminal recklessness, domestic violence, animal cruelty, and other offenses. A new court date, a request for a new trial, and a busy weekend ahead. Those stories and more next on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, an update on that Venezuela double tap story. It is not what they told you. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Well, Tony, a federal trial date now set in New York for the Major League Baseball pitchers accused of taking bribes in a gambling scheme. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Emmanuel Clase and his teammate Luis Ortiz were in Brooklyn federal court today, where the judge set May 4th as the start of jury selection. Prosecutors estimate that the trial will last about 2 weeks. Clase and Ortiz have pleaded not guilty to charges accusing the pitchers of accepting bribes from bettors in exchange for intentionally throwing balls to help the bettors win their bets. Florida's longest-serving death row inmate wants a new trial. Fox's Evan Brown.
The now 80-year-old Tommy Ziegler was sentenced to die, convicted of killing his wife, his in-laws, and a customer at his family's furniture store in 1975. Ziegler's lawyers say DNA could show the dead customer was the one who killed the others.
Throughout our case, we believe that Tommy was a victim, not a perpetrator.
Prosecutors say the original case remains ironclad and that the judge should refuse Ziegler a new trial. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
The Indianapolis Colts say they're not placing cornerback Sauce Gardner on injured reserve. He left Sunday's game early against the Texans with an injured calf. Here's what Colts head coach Shane Steichen had to say Monday about that situation.
In regards to Sauce, it's his calf. His Achilles is good to go, but probably missed some time. How much time, I do not know at the moment right now.
The Colts gave up 2 first-round picks to get Gardner, and they play Jacksonville this Sunday. As you know, the city of Indianapolis is supposed to get an economic boost this weekend thanks to college sports. Jake McDaniel reports.
The Big Ten football championship game between Indiana and Ohio State is landing the same day as the IU basketball game against Louisville, which is Saturday. President and CEO of Inside Indiana Business, Gary Dick, tells WIBC's Tony Katz it's creating a rare situation for Indy's downtown business.
The impact, which is always significant from the Big Ten football championship, is going to be magnified this weekend.
Dick says the combination of traveling fan bases, including those from Ohio State and Louisville, will flood Indianapolis. He added that cities like Las Vegas are trying to steal the championship, so Indy needs this weekend to prove they're still a great host. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
As for how Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti feels about getting ready for Ohio State in that game on Monday, he said Ohio State has a lot of weapons.
You know, they're balanced. They want to run the football and throw the football, both, and as do we. And that takes some pressure off the quarterback.
He says his team's met every challenge up to this point to get to 12-0, and so is Ohio State, who's also 12-0. Kickoff at 8 o'clock Saturday night on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
America. It's Tony Katz Today.
It was amazing. I terminated the insane electric vehicle mandate. And look, some people that make electric cars weren't happy with that. But we have to do that because you have to have a choice, whether it's a gasoline-powered car. And we have so much gasoline. You know, China doesn't have gasoline. We do. And whether it's a hybrid, which really are working really well, the combination of electric and gasoline.
Hybrid people like. hybrid people are a fan of far more than electric. It's a cabinet meeting. A reminder to America that Joe Biden couldn't do this, but I'm President Trump, and I can because I know where I am. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Find everything at TonyKatz.com. The phone number, 833-468-8669, 833-GOT-TONY. That's how you get to be a part of the show. I'm going to bring it to the cabinet meeting. You're going to hear about drug prices. They've already discussed that. I'm assuming we're going to hear talk about Venezuela and this double tap thing, which isn't a thing. Well, it is a thing, but not as the Washington Post explained it. The president's going to talk. We're going to listen. I will comment throughout. I'm glad you guys are here. Let's get to the president.
But now we're making a lot of money. We're making a lot of money because of the tariffs that are pouring in. And it's really national security. Among everything else, it's national security. We've also rapidly turned the worst border crisis in world history. I believe we had the worst border ever in history. I don't care if you had a fourth world country. You know, we allow third world country in. We would allow fourth world war countries in also. It doesn't matter. There was never a border that was as bad as our border. We allowed anybody in with no checks, no vetting. So we've rapidly turned the worst border crisis in world history into the strongest border in the history of our country, and probably one of the strongest borders in the history of the world, because we have nobody coming through. And I want to thank our people. The Border Patrol is so amazing, ICE, and I want to thank the military for the backup, because they're standing right behind them, and that was really nasty for a period of months, and now it's no longer nasty. Now they don't even come up. Nobody comes up. It's an easy job. Made your job a lot easier because they know they're not going to get through. And we take people in, but they have to come in legally. For 6 months in a row, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted into the United States. You believe that? 0. We had millions of people coming in a year, millions. Now we have 0 for 6 months, and these are given by radical left people that do the numbers. I mean, they're not doing them any favor.
Now, we should understand that no number is 0. But the president does get to make this claim because what we had versus what we have is so unbelievably impressive now. We ended the scourge of illegal immigration. Now, don't rest on your laurels, but it is a story that needs to be taken into the midterms. We are a safer nation because we have said we have a border. And look at what Democrats did. They told you they couldn't fix it. They told you it was the Republicans' fault. They told you we needed to pass special legislation. None of it was true. All Democrats had to do was care more about the American people than they did their own power. That's the line, by the way, which I didn't say until right now. That's the line. If Republicans start utilizing that line, they will move people. The economy is an issue. I'm not saying no. I'm going to get into more of that. But there are other things that Republicans need to be running on, and they should have been running yesterday for these midterms. I don't know what they're going to do. The Republican brand is not the Trump brand. They got a lot of work to do. I do not know if they're smart enough to get it done. And we'll talk about the special election in Tennessee as an example of what's going on.
You people are crazy. I'll let you know when there's something wrong. There will be someday. That's going to happen to all of us. But right now, I think I'm sharper than I was 25 years ago. But who the hell knows? By the way, I took my physical. I got all A's, everything.
You got all A's.
Me, would you like to take a cognitive test? I said, is it hard? They said, yes. I said, well, I'm a very smart person. Who was the last president to take one? No president has ever agreed to take one. Because when you get into the mid-questions, meaning, 10, question number 10, 11, 12, 28, 30, they get harder and harder. And they said, would you like to do it? I said, well, no reason to do it. Nobody's ever done it. I'll do it maybe, but there's really no reason. They said, sir, the problem is this is Walter Reed Hospital. And that's a military hospital. And that means that things are, sort of open. It's not like private where you have, if you do poorly, we'll have to, probably you'll find out. I said, I won't do poorly. I'm a smart person, not a stupid person. And as the doctor will tell you, I aced it. Right, Susie? I aced. I got every question right. And these are
okay. We need to take this
these
test.
Are questions that
Producer Landon, find me that cognitive test. We're going to take it on the air.
Right now, meaning the
we're all going to do it together.
From the fake news would not do well in those exams. But I'm the only one that took it. I got every single question right. And then I read in the New York Times, is Trump sharp? Trump is sharp. But they're not sharp. That's why they're going out.
He is 4 seconds away from telling somebody to go, you know what, themselves. He really is. Like I don't think there's any question about it. He is 4 seconds away from that. He just, like, he's working himself up there. But I aced it. That is so absolutely, positively terrific. Just terrific. These cabinet meetings are for Trump opportunity. Very, very big opportunity. And the opportunity is to remind America, I've got this under control. I've got this on lockdown. You're welcome.
Border crossings along the U.S.-Mexico border have plummeted to the lowest level ever. Think of that. And the net benefit to our country is enormous, incalculable. America is strong and respected again. On the world stage, we're really respected. In fact, I went to a NATO and they were calling me the president of Europe. We're doing very well. We have a lot of respect. As you know, we have a problem with a war that our people are trying to settle now with Russia and Ukraine. We are not involved in the war monetarily anymore. Biden gave away $350 billion like it was candy. That's a massive amount of money. And much of it in cash, a lot of it in equipment. I don't give away anything. We sell the equipment to NATO. The European nations pay us for the equipment, 100% price. And then they bring it to Ukraine or whatever they do with it. But we're trying to get that settled. I've settled 8 wars. This would be the 9th. And our people are over in Russia right now to see if we can get it settled. Not an easy situation. Let me tell you what a mess. It's a war that never would have happened if I were president. Not even a chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years. I haven't met one person. We've renamed the Department of Defense the Department of War. I thought that would be controversial. And frankly, I tell you what, I haven't met one person. World War II. There's not one person I've met that doesn't like it.
Sorry, just having
a think of it. We won
double audio
World
issue
War
right there.
I, World War II, everything in between, everything before it. And then we said, let's change the name. So we changed it back to what it was, Department of War, and Pete's doing a great job. We ended 8 wars. Think of that. 8 wars, but we're going to do one more, I think. I hope.
Now, when he talks about Russia, there's a story there. The story there is that Putin is saying if Europe wants war, then Russia is ready. And everyone's like, I'm sorry, what? This goes back to a story just a couple of days ago where NATO said we're ready to engage with Russia. We're ready for a fight with Russia. And I read that and I said, okay, this is a misread. This is a misread of a headline. They mean that they're prepared and they've got military readiness and if Ukraine should need help. No, it came across much more aggressive than that. Now Vladimir Putin is saying that Russia doesn't want a war with European powers, but if Europe did want a war, then Russia was ready right now to fight. Putin doesn't want to fight. I think that Putin does need the off-ramp. He's just willing to go to the end. And I don't think Europeans want the fight because I honestly don't know if they know how. And the United States isn't interested in the fight. Certainly not when it comes to Ukraine. After all, we've got 15,000 troops and 11 warships in the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela, which is a story in and of itself. The cabinet meeting is going on. I'll bring you more of that cabinet meeting as it happens. He's going to go around the horn. It's always entertaining, and it's always good to hear what they're saying as they're saying it so we can then, make our comments on it. Keep it here, guys. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today.
Scrolling all day, clickbait everywhere. But the facts, they're harder to find.
WIBC didn't just report the story, they really got into why it matters.
CEO of First American Nuclear believes we're heading into America's nuclear renaissance.
In 100 years, all successful nations will be powered by nuclear reactors. For the sake of our children, I'd like the U.S. to be one of them.
Oh, I check the WIBC website before I even open social media.
Online, on social, on air. Stay in the know while you're on the go with 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you'd done it sooner. The place for guys to go is Synergen X and Low T Center for TRT. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The testosterone is pure and not compound. Get a free T-test today, fixmylowt.com.
Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. Get in now for your free TRT test. No appointment is necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. Guys, you'll wish you had started TRT sooner. Don't you wish you knew what your level was? Find out with the free TRT test at Synergen X and the Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Synergen X and Low T Center. Get that free T-test today. fixmylowt.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Scholke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Scholke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
The holidays are here. Is endless hot water at the top of your Christmas wish list? Luckily, my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling are offering an amazing special during the holiday season. $1,000 off a tankless water heater. Give the gift of endless hot water and save $1,000 by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today. Stay warm this holiday season with endless hot water from Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Give them a call at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I've been a Republican my whole life.
I proudly voted for President Trump 3 times.
I want Republicans to win.
But mid-cycle redistricting isn't the right way to do it. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars.
And it gives D.C. more power to tell us what to do.
That's not how Hoosiers do things.
Tell your legislator, spend your time passing a conservative agenda
that lowers costs and makes our lives better.
And don't rig our elections.
Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
Hammer and Nigel show tickets are on sale now for our Red, White, and Bowl event presented by Jack Daniels. Go to WIBC.com, buy your tickets. We'll talk this afternoon at 3.
But the First Lady's done a beautiful job with the Christmas trees and all the decorations. I see the wreaths on the windows. I've never seen that before. On the windows of the White House. And you know, it's 4 stories high. I said, how did they get that wreath? They had people going up in a little dangerous. I wouldn't want to do it, but they put
President Trump giving kudos to the First Lady for the decorations there at the White House. Well, who would say no to that? Tony Katz. Tony Katz today, great to be with you. He was talking about, of course, the murder of National Guard troop Sarah Beckstrom, talking about how safe Washington, D.C. is, saying no murders. And my argument is, don't say no murders. Don't. You can say, and you should say, that when cities are serious about their safety and security, we can get results. We can make it better for everybody. Why aren't more blue cities in favor of this? Why won't they move to be safer? I'm here to help. Let me. Don't make me just come in. Let me help you and come to us and say we want the help. That's the thing to do. That's how it has to work. And if he does that, he'll get more people to his side. That's a winning argument. It really is. Because what's happened to D.C. has worked. And the murder of this National Guard troop from this Afghan national is much more about who we've let into the country than anything else. Meanwhile, by the way, I said hello, Tony Katz today. President Trump is still speaking. It's a cabinet meeting. So you know what that means. Candy for everybody except Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Let's take it to the president right here.
But we'll start with Pete, and then if you want...
Going to Secretary of War, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. As you said, it has been a historic year at the Department of War. Recruiting and retention over this year are at the most historic levels our country has ever seen. I had a chance to be on a aircraft carrier and destroyer over Thanksgiving. The spirit in our ranks since the election under President Trump is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like it as a soldier myself in uniform, and I know a lot of you feel the same way. We've ripped out the DEI and the political correctness. It's all merit-based at the department. We're getting back to basics: accountability, training, readiness, lethality, and that's reviving that spirit. And Mr. President, we're rebuilding the military, historic investments. I just took briefings on the Golden Dome and F-47, next generation capabilities that are going to make sure that for generations to come, America has the most powerful, most capable, most lethal military in the world, which you have rebuilt once and we're rebuilding again. And then we're reestablishing deterrence and credibility. If you look at what happened, we deal with every day the outcome of what happened in Afghanistan, the debacle under Joe Biden. We just dealt with it in the streets of Washington, D.C. with those 2 National Guardsmen. And then what happened on October 7th with Hamas, what happened in Ukraine, a war that never would have started under President Trump, we're having to rebuild that. So whether it's freedom of navigation and taking the fight to the Houthis, whether it's Midnight Hammer, those beautiful B-2s going 37 hours back and forth undetected, delivering with precision, and Iran not getting nuclear capabilities, Europe and NATO stepping up to 5%, locking down our southwest border. It's been an honor to work with Christy and Tom and everyone else down there to lock it to 0, operational control of our border. And then it's getting after and going after narco-terrorists and designated terrorist organizations in our own hemisphere. As I've said, and I'll say again, we've only just begun striking narco boats and putting narco terrorists at the bottom of the ocean because they've been poisoning the American people. And Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves. And allowed them to come across the border, cartels take over community, 20 million people, hundreds of thousands of Americans poisoned. And President Trump said, no, we're taking the gloves off. We're taking the fight to these designated terror organizations. And it's exactly what we're doing. So
if you thought that maybe the Department of War, Department of Defense, was going to change their tunes on what's going on with Venezuela, you were wrong.
By sea are down 91%. And I don't know who the 9% is.
I'm not sure either, sir.
But down 91% by sea.
We've had a bit of a pause because it's hard to find boats to strike right now. Which is the entire point, right? Deterrence has to matter, not arrest and hand over and then do it again, the rinse and repeat approach of previous administrations. This is meant to get after that approach. And I will just end by saying, as President Trump always has our back, we always have the back of our commanders who are making decisions in difficult situations, and we do in this case and all these strikes. They're making judgment calls and ensuring that they defend the American people. They've done the right things. We'll keep doing that, and we have their backs, Mr. President.
Good job. Thank you very much. Howard?
So we set
Moving
out
on
to stop
to
the ripoff of the
Howard
United
Lutnick,
States of America. This is
the
about
Secretary of
global
Commerce.
change of trade. We've been ripped off since 1945 when we set this policy. So we set out, and together with my partners, Jameson Greer and Scott Bessett, we set out to change that. So we started, the first one was the UK deal, right? We asymmetric. They pay us 10%, and we get charged nothing. That allows us to export, and that began the process. Then we did the biggest, the European Union, 450 million people, $20 trillion economy. They completely opened their borders to us, and we charge them 15%. That makes America $100 billion a year and turns it back to where our economy is the best. And so it proved that President Trump's trade agenda was the right trade agenda. Then we go to Japan and Korea. They offer us $750 billion in cash to build in America at the president's direction. And we're going to start, as an example, nuclear, right? We need to have a nuclear arsenal in America of power, the generation of power. So we're going to build hundreds of billions of dollars, financed by the Japanese and the Koreans, meaning they give us the money, we build it here, and we split the cash flow 50-50. We're going to build ships, $150 billion worth of ships in America. That changes the way things work, right? After those trade deals, then you go to how are we going to reshore, right? Let's start talking about the auto industry, right? We've been competed against by Koreans, the Japanese, the Europeans. We're kicking our tail. President Trump changed it. 25% tariffs, bring it all home. This year, General Motors stock up 40%, Ford up 34%, and on the same day that we announced we had set all the tariffs, Sean Fain, the head of the United Auto Workers, called and said, I can't believe I'm calling a Republican Secretary of Commerce to tell the president that this is the greatest administration for auto workers in America.
Well, I'm glad. Tariffs are taxes, though, Secretary Lutnick. And in all of these deals, as good as they sound, I want them to be true. But the deal is part A. Part B is the selling and the buying. What is it? What are the actual dollars that are making their way in? What are the actual investments that are happening? When do we see the shovels hit the ground in terms of construction? When do we see the dollars hit the street in terms of investment? Then we will know. And you will feel the results of that quickly. We haven't felt the results of that yet. We are not close to feeling the results of that yet. And that's the issue. That's the hardest part, which is why they've been so very, very strong now in talking about here's what's coming, here's what's coming. You have to sell your story. They did listen to us. Even on the one big beautiful bill, which passed in July, the conversation is, oh my gosh, wait till you see what happens January 1st and the no tax on tips, this, that, and the other. That's when the good times do happen. We've got the briefing. It's going to be continuing. The live stream is happening, youtube.com/Tony Katz. Keep it here. I've got much more of the cabinet meeting. More is coming up. I don't know what job Marco Rubio is doing, but he's sitting next to the president as always. We will have that as well. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today.
.93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.